Chattanooga ahead of Grey Regent and Libidinius, and then Ruthless Tycoon, 4 from 5 and 8, then number 3. And while we check out the market, let's hear from Greg Childs about Notoire.
Greg, Notoire's racing a little bit below par, but has got the ability.
Yes.
In the betting ring for Libidinius. And she'll run the top pick as Toledo moved up, and they're set to run for the Kevin Heffernan. Ready and racing. Had a good start, and Libidinius winning the jump from the middle of the line, and she'll have no trouble in crossing them and lead comfortably. It's Libidinius in front of Grey Regent. Ruth and Chattanooga last at the 700, and Libidinius came down the hill by a length and a quarter. Ruthless Tycoon in second placing, 2.5 lengths Toledo. Grey Regent on the inside, being followed by moving up Rustic Mist, and then Notoire and 2 to Chattanooga. They're coming around the turn at the 450 in the Kevin Heffernan, and it's Libidinius sneaking away, and she shot 3 in front around the turn. From Ruthless Tycoon, Toledo. Chattanooga's pulled to the outside spot. Toledo 7 or 8. Coming to the 250 metre mark. Libidinius being urged along by Findlay. He's pulled the whip. She's out by 2. Is there much in the tank? Here come the chasers. Chattanooga's charging home. Here he comes. He's got them all right. Chattanooga went straight past Libidinius. And from last, Chattanooga came away to beat Libidinius. Toledo third, then Rustic Mist. Followed in by Ruthless Tycoon, Notoire, and Grey Regent dropped out to last. Chattanooga coming from last. Libidinius sneaking away.
The mile that quickly, but time will tell. 1:10.10 wasn't the quickest of the 6 furlong times you'd expect in this calibre of race. Perhaps
very impressive win by Chattanooga. Mick Price again showing his skills as a first-up trainer. Libidinius had been competing in Mare's company. She looked to have yesterday's race in her keeping when she booted away rounding the home turn, but look at this finish of Chattanooga. Damien, not your stable, not your ride, but that looked to be the performance of a horse that will graduate to maybe weight for age.
Yeah.
Or not, well, that was weight for age, but to Group 1 status.
Well, that was an awesome win that day, yesterday, that's right, with Chattanooga. I mean, he just blew them away. He gave them a huge start at the top of the straight and looked like he just joined in. Wasn't a real weight for age race, supposedly, but Libidinius not really a weight for age mare, and Toledo's been a great old horse, but probably a little bit past his best, and it was an outstanding win. He's probably capable of winning a Group 1, and probably maybe not so much under weight for age conditions, but maybe a handicap.
Shadow, it just sort of puts more weight on Damien.
Will undergo extensive medical testing in an effort to discover the cause of ongoing lameness. Trainer Bede Murray finally admitted defeat this afternoon, ending the 4-year-old spring. That followed another morning of anger and recriminations, with Racing Victoria vets refusing the horse a clearance to race.
Bede Murray was at the end of his tether, frustrated, angry and demanding answers.
Well, what is, I'm asking you to prove to me where he's won. You can't do it.
A week after having his horse scratched hours before the Melbourne Cup, Murray brought Universal Prince to Sandown to prove his fitness ahead of Saturday's Classic.
I asked you, when you first examined the horse, I said, do some tests, do something with the horse and tell me where it's lying. We are not, that's over 10 days ago.
Murray's 4-year-old was put through the now familiar series of exercises before a solid hit-out over 1,600 metres with race jockey Justin Sheehan aboard. But again, VRC vets found the horse to be lame.
A veterinary point of view, we're trained to look at horses in a certain way, and horse trainers look at them in another way, and that's probably where the disagreement arises.
But hours later, a further inspection here at Universal Prince's Flemington stables found the horse to be hobbling noticeably, Murray finally conceding defeat.
That's the first time we've seen anything wrong with him, so whether it is something very minor or just something a little bit more than that, we don't know. So rather than take any risks at all, I'd rather call it quits.
Murray will take his horse to the Ballarat Veterinary Clinic tomorrow in a search for answers before taking him back to his New South Wales South Coast property to be spelled. A spring which promised so much.
The Damien Oliver on board at $5. Cinderbella is $6. King Keitel is $7. Hill of Grace at $8.
Mate, this I'm going for Cinderbella, number 12, to win from number 11, Hill of Grace, and number 1, Sky Heights.
Well, I'll go number 1, Sky Heights. I think he's a good thing. He's far better than these, and I reckon he is in good form. I think his Caulfield Cup run is the run I keep going back to. Number 11, Hill of Grace to run.
3 better value carps that way, New South Wales and Queensland. He gets his firm track today. King Keitel at $12. From there we go down to Royal Craig Williams.
Here's Matriculate coming up into the line now. Favouritism, well, it's up for grabs at the moment. Between 1 Sky Heights and 12 Cinderbella, they've each eased out. Their fluctuations have mirrored each other, in fact, and they remain now equal favourites for the race ahead of Hill of Grace. Padfoot Charlie missed it, and Citrus Prince went down on his nose down towards the inside. Brighter Scene got away well. Daniel is dropping in behind them and scooting over their heels to the rail. Away fast early is Secundamon. The 3-year-old finds the lead. There's Hill of Grace from the outside going forward very quickly and heads him now, and Sky Heights came across as well. It's Hill of Grace going to the lead. Down the straight the first time, and the Kiwi mare led from Sky Heights up second the outside. Trailed by Matriculate Secundamon on the rails. 1200 left to go, and it's Sky Heights by a length and a half. Hill of Grace second. A length Secundamon, followed by Matriculate. 1 Brighter Scene, a length and a half Carpstead Way. Cinderbella off 3 wide, trailed by King Keitel, 1.5 Padfoot Charlie. Then came Magneto Yammer, Citrus Prince and Danyon. 900 left to go, and it's Sky Heights by a length and a quarter. Hill of Grace second, Secundamon third, Matriculate wide all the way. Then Brighter Scene, 1.5 Cinderbella improving. She's trailed by Carpstead Way, King Keitel. 2 lengths then Magneto, Padfoot Charlie, Yammer and Citrus Prince and Danyon the last 2. Sky Heights at the 600 metres by 3/4 to Hill of Grace, a length and a half Secundamon. Brighter Scene hard ridden. Matriculate loses ground. King Keitel comes with a run. Then Carpstead Way as they swing the corner. It's Sky Heights at the 400. He shot 3 in front. The 3-year-old gives chase. Secundamon. Hill of Grace battling away, and then Carpstead Way and King Keitel. Sky Heights clear at the 250 metre mark. Oliver gave him a slap with the whip, and he's 4 lengths clear. King Keitel goes to second from Brighter Scene, and then Yammer and Cinderbella, but Sky Heights is well clear for Damien Oliver. King Keitel gets to second, but Sky Heights all the way in the classic beat King Keitel. Cinderbella third, Yammer fourth, Secundamon fifth. Then came Carpstead Way, Padfoot Charlie, Brighter Scene, and back behind them Hill of Grace, who dropped out of it. So did Danyon, trailed in by Citrus Prince. A long break then to Magneto, and Matriculators a long last. Class. Both horse and rider all the way.
Action and D for Damien. Damien Oliver dictating as he does so well. 3 wins on the program. Colin Alderson summed up the situation, took Sky Heights to the front, and the son of Zabeel makes it career win number 11. And his prize earnings rocket along that little bit further. An extra $325,000 jumps into the kick, taking him past $4 million.
Did suit Sky Heights yesterday, but interestingly, Jack Kennedy there mentioned the Ascot Gold Cup. Now, Damien, you've ridden in Europe. Do you really think he's an Ascot Gold Cup type horse?
Yeah, I actually ran 4th in it, not the season just gone, the season before, and on a horse called San Sebastian. And I mean, it's 4,000 metres, which I think this horse would have no trouble coping with. It's quite a testing track, and he's a fast stay. I mean, some of those horses that come out for our cup after that, I mean, they're quite slow type of horses, and it really is a staying test. And he proved yesterday that he can run good times from a long way out. So my ambition was yesterday was to keep going sort of from the 1,000 and pull the rest of the horses out and make them chase him, and because I knew he could sustain a long sprint.
Damien, there was a prolonged inquiry after the race.
Down to the post the first time is what they did in the Melbourne Cup, did they?
No, they definitely didn't, Wayne. And I mean, after 50 metres in the Melbourne Cup, I probably missed it by 3 or 4 lengths, which you don't really see, and I was probably 10 lengths off the lead. I mean, you know how quickly they get their positions in a Melbourne Cup. You just can't, from the back of the field, take off and go around them like that. It would have been suicide. And as for between the 1,000 metres and the 600 metres, he got between horses and he just wouldn't go. I virtually had to pull him out of it, around to the outside, and get him to go again, because he just won't race in between horses now.
I'll ask Keith in a moment about the beaten brigade, but John, you're no stranger to seeing Sky Heights lead.
Former winners of this feature Group 2. The ratings are going the way of Moon Dragon to beat Spectatorial, All Courage and Mr. Trickster. 11 from 1, 3 and 4. Runners are heading down towards the enclosure as we speak for one of the last of the big races of our spring. After this we go to the Group 3. You'll find the horses that run placings in the Guineas go on this great time-honoured race, the Sandown Guineas, stacked with its history books of stars of the turf. To call them up, Greg Miles.
Now Townson's getting ready. Getting set well. Sky Heights is heading for the Spelling Paddock after his victory in the Sandown Heights in the Sandown Classic. He's heading off to the Spelling Paddock. There's Moon Dragon. Damien Oliver on board, going for his 4th win of the day. fantastic all the way. Clear now, and they're away in the Guineas. Not a bad start, and Mr. Trickster ridden out from the outside with All Courage. Omens jumped fast, and Spectatorial got away well. Storm Zero's up there, 2 out wider, trailed by Time Deposit and No Alibi. Heading to the 1,000, All Courage by a length. In second placing, Mr. Trickster. Spectatorial, the favourite, gets the run of the race, third on the rails. 2 lengths then to Omens, and she's being trailed by No Alibi, and then Storm Zero. One behind these, Time Deposit, a half to Moon Dragon on the rails, and then came Tell Sun, who's about 4th last. About a half length away, getting through on the inside. Oh, Mr. Greg got flattened there as Prince of War and Road to Dance went ahead of him. He dropped out 4 lengths last, Mr. Greg. Coming down towards the turn at the 500 metres, All Courage from Mr. Trickster. 2 lengths away, Spectatorial, another 2 to Omens, and then came back behind those horses, pulled to the outside to make some ground, Storm Zero, but they're in the straight. All Courage from Mr. Trickster. Spectatorial's had the perfect run, and now he's called on by Payne, and they're trailed by Omens and Moon Dragon making some ground. They haven't got All Courage at the 200. He led from Mr. Trickster. Spectatorial can't go on. Here comes Moon Dragon. It's All Courage in front. Oliver having a hot day. Moon Dragon, the fillies racing away. Moon Dragon by 2 lengths to All Courage. Road to Dance a neck away third. Then Mr. Trickster. Spectatorial very disappointing. Prince of War followed by Storm Zero, and back behind those to finish in the race, Mr. Greg, who's made some ground. His run wasn't bad. Trailed by Tell Sun, then No Alibi, and back last to finish in the race is Time Deposit. Moon Dragon, the filly, has come from well back, and Damien Oliver has racked up his 4th.
Excuse me, that you don't see fillies win that race like that. She had them covered 100 metres out and went to the line under a hold. It was a terrific performance.
Yeah. She missed the start at her most recent outing and still recovered and finished.
That he was going to ride a midfield or thereabouts. He thought there'd be a bit of pace about, and I thought my other horse had pinched it inside the 200, but she's got such great acceleration, you know, the sky's the limit for her, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Maybe 3 weeks ago, you said you've got one in the stable that's going to really shine over the carnival. Moon Dragon.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you said it on air, but
no, I didn't.
Told me. No, you didn't. But hasn't it lived up to all your expectations?
Yes, she has. She's been great.
Was beautiful filly, yep. She's by Dane Hill, and she carries the Robert Sangster colours, and she's the first filly to win this race for 13 years. The last was Blixen in 1988.
The star on the day, Damien. What's she like to ride? She looks a little bit spooky. She looks like she's still got a bit to learn.
Yeah, she has. She's been wearing that noseband, which is a bit of a new thing for her, and she can toss her head a bit with that sometimes. She's got to have a bit of soft hands on her, but she's much better than what she used to be. Anthony Friedman's done a great job with her down at your pre-training set up there down at St Ives, Richard, and he's really made her turn the corner, and it was just an awesome win yesterday. She just blew him away. You know, as far as out as here, I was confident I had him covered.
Well, let's watch her go to the line. I think Lee spoke in terms of being a match for Magical Miss after this performance, Damien.
Yeah, well, I've got a pretty good opinion of Magical Miss. She's a pretty awesome filly, and I reckon it'd be nice to take it to Adelaide to visit a couple of nice Group 1s there, the Australasian and the South Australian Oaks.
Right, Scott Seamer riding the
Oaks.
Right, Scott Seamer riding the runner-up for Lee. He was a jock that deprived you of 6 yesterday. He was the jockey of the spring, so he's done well, hasn't he?
Oh, he's had a fantastic spring. He's been a revelation. Both Scotty and Dan.
5 Sky ratings are Quiver and Tickle My are the joint top raters, Fields of Omar 97 and Thong Classic 97.
Is back in action this week from 9 Miss Precisely and 2 Stolen Halo. That's 4, 9 and 2. The 6th event of the day, which is the Hahn Premium Light. Island Light looks hard to beat, but I've gone down to race 7 on the program is the big one. Well, you'd be mad if you didn't tip Northerly on what he was able to achieve in Melbourne during the spring. I'm going with him despite the wide gate.
Down with Fields of Omar favourite in a wide betting race ahead of Tickle My and Calms.
Fields of Omar jumped okay over near the outside, and Tickle My began well, so did Piper Star and El Cabello. Going forward early is a Quiver trying to find the lead, and El Tiro and Tiger's Eye coming across from outside barriers. It's a Quiver narrowly from Piper Star down past the judge. El Tiro deep out, about 4 or 5 wide by the 1800. Tiger's Eye just on the inside going past the 1,000-metre mark. And the leader is a Quiver by 2 lengths. Piper Star is second. Tickle My in the centre, even Sam on the rail. 1.5 to Fields of Omar. He's got 3 behind him coming up towards the turn. Their calm smites are on the rail. Weasel Will and Burley. Into the straight they race now. It's a quiver narrowly from Piper Star, Tiger's Eye, and El Cabello with the run. Altero's coming through on the inside, and wider out on the track then came Thong Classic, Citrus Prince coming towards the 200, then Fields of Omar getting into the clear at the 200 now, and Piper Star and a quiver together. Fields of Omar and Thong Classic are coming down the outside. Fields of Omar race to the lead now. He's taken the front, and Fields of Omar from Thong Classic, and third a quiver. Then came Adolescence, trailed by Piper Star. Weasel Will, Tickle My didn't come on with it. Just behind these are Typhoon and El Cabello followed.
Well, it's been a 220. Thong Classic got second, 290. A quiver third, tried to lead all the way at $5.40.
I aimed that race in the spring, but once he won that so impressive, you know, we aimed at this race. So he's done everything we've asked, you know.
Is it difficult to place him from here on in?
Not really. I think he's a pretty smart horse. And he's, you know, we just step him up a rung now, and he's going to be very easy to place.
What will you do then?
He's probably going to, we'll send him up to Euroa, up to our property up there, and he'll spend 3 or 4 weeks there. And we'll bring him back down and give him a pretty light autumn, and then possibly, you know, next spring into a Caulfield Cup, something like that.
Yeah, that was a very big win. Congratulations. A mate of ours, Brian Martin's part owner of that, I do believe. I don't know where Brian is. I think he's on holiday. He'll be watching somewhere, but good on you, Brian. You've got a very good horse. Was very impressive, wasn't it, Rich?
Yeah, I reckon that horse will go on and win big races. They've had a big rap on this horse for quite some time, the McAvoy stable. They took him back to Adelaide. They pushed him through his grades at lower levels, but he's putting it together now, and I love the way this horse stretched out over the last 100 metres. He gets his head down and really stretches and enjoys getting to the line. He's come from a long way back. There was pace on in the race. A quiver once again set up the pace, but the winner was just too strong in the end and rolled over the top of them. Very strong win, and a quiver once again, a good run.
A couple of good runs too. Thong Classic was wide in the race, and Adolescence was never better than 3 and 4 deep. And it was.
I want to take note, though. Tony has suggested that this horse will need the run. The horse has only had one hopple trip since coming down 3 weeks ago. Hasn't trialled or done anything like that, so that's probably a little short for what you want to take. Don't think I've lost my marbles here, because I am actually tipping.
Huge crowd, and they are all there to see the horse on top, the top weight. And when I say top weight, I mean that. 61.5 kgs. Northerly has won $3.3 million in prize money. And the last horse to beat Northerly is number 2, Corporate Bruce, at $26. Since then, Northerly has been on a barnstorming campaign. It won the Fiend, it won the Underwood, it won the Alumba, and who could forget last start, it won the Cox Plate. Let's go west now and soak up some...
Gates open now. They're racing. A huge roar from the crowd. Fair Alert won the start. Guineas Girl broke very quickly. And in behind them as they settle down, Tribula's going forward. And Oliver's sending Northerly across. He's about third as they race up to the back. Old Fashioned fourth, and then came third. The riverside of the course, under 1100 to go. And Northerly's up running second. Tribula third the fence, and they've backed the speed off. Opening twist going around them. 3 wide to fourth. 1.5 Old Fashioned handy. Over on the inside then Fair Alert being closely followed by Old Comrade, who's improved as they near the 800. Fascia Fears behind those about midfield, and Mr. Tanzania going forward. Guineas Girl getting back along the fence from Shot of Thunder, Finito, and then Storm Shot, Corporate Bruce. Over on the inside behind those came Papillon, and Exit Lane is next to last. Thurston increasing the speed. Oliver's now starting to move on Northerly, and around him is Opening Twist, who's had a very hard run. Tribula back along the fence, followed by Old Comrade, who's breathing fire behind them with Old Fashioned on his inside. Mr. Tanzania's within striking distance now. Oliver takes the Northerly to the lead around the home corner, but tackled by Opening Twist. Old Comrade's cut very loose, and here comes Mr. Tanzania. Old Comrade stormed to the front. Northerly can't win. Old Comrade burst clear from Mr. Tanzania. Flying through along the fence, Old Fashioned, but Old Comrade races away to win the Railway Stakes. Old Comrade has won from Mr. Tanzania. Finito flying in a photo for third with Old Fashioned. Right behind those came Shot of Thunder, Fascia Fears, Corporate Bruce, and Northerly got pretty tired. They were followed home then by Storm Shot, Papillon. Opening Twist cut up in the straight with Tribula, Exit Lane, then Fair Alert, and last is Thurston.
Northerly finished well down the track in the Railway Stakes, and because number 4, Old Comrade, was way too good. $8, $2.40. Number 10, Mr. Tanzania, was a quiet tip at big odds at $4.
How sweet it is. How does it feel? Oh, it feels great. We won when he shot for home, what did you think?
Oh, I was a bit worried that he was so close, but he's done it.
You've tried before. This is one race that you haven't won in Perth, but is it your biggest?
I think we've won about 8 times. We've run from 5th to 2nd, and it's been very hard to win, and we've won all the big ones here. We won the Oaks 3 times, the Fruit and Veg a couple of times, the Perth Cup, and all the rest of them. We couldn't win this one, but today he did.
Yeah, Bob Peters has had some very good horses over the years, but Darren, if ever a horse deserved to win a Group 1, old Comrade's one of it. It was it.
Yeah, bred by Bob Peters, Old Spice, of course, the sire that Bob has had so much faith in over many, many years now, and Bob's been a huge contributor to racing in this state. You know, you look back at races like a Caulfield Cup, which was snatched right from underneath his nose with Congressman some years ago. He's won nearly every race on the WATC calendar, but the big Group 1 Ascot Mile was the one that had eluded him for 2 decades until Old Comrade's victory yesterday, and I'm sure they celebrated last night.
Darren, the horse had to play second fiddle last season. Of course, he won the Fruit and Veg, and this time he was sent to Cliff Brown's stable in Melbourne, but he's a horse who just cannot handle any wetness in the track whatsoever. He was scratched on a couple of occasions, and his sectional times were quite astonishing given the wind that you were talking about yesterday.
You're absolutely spot on, Terry, right on the mark. This horse is a duffer in the wet. He's a real on top of the ground galloper, got that lovely fluid action, and Cliffy didn't have a lot of luck getting the right weather conditions in Melbourne. They had some big plans mapped out for Old Comrade after what he had been able to achieve during the last carnival, and including that second in the Railway Stakes to Northerly. He also picked up
Railway Stakes. Usually when a champion has his colours lowered, there's a strange hush as they come back to scale. Did that apply yesterday?
It sure did, John. I think there were many, many supporters of Northerly. There were no doubt the connections, officials of the Turf Club, those that had come out to see the great horse were pretty deflated. I'm sure if he'd been able to run second or third, it might have been a different story, but he finished a fading 11th. Damien didn't really push the horse out. He was gentle to him over the concluding stages. Once he knew the horse couldn't give any more, he was beaten on the home bend. He had constant pressure. In 2 stages of the race particularly, it was run in a couple of different ways. They went relatively quick early, they backed off soon after, and then the pressure was put right on from about the half-mile mark when opening twist went around him and sat 3 deep to join him and Thurston, and he just had to keep niggling under the 61.5, and he might have got to the front fleetingly around the corner, and that's about where his run came to an end. And for most people on course, as you would expect, it was a pretty deflating occasion.
Yeah, we'll talk more on
Oliver there, rider of Northerly. I suppose we're all experts in hindsight, Darren, but there'd be a lot of conjecture now that the horse probably shouldn't have run in the Railway Stakes, that he was a tired horse and that perhaps Fred went to the well one too many times.
Well, I think it's either a case of 2 things, Richard, really, as Fred pointed out yesterday. Either he needed the run as a top-up, or as you say, he's telling Fred, I've done enough, I've conquered my Everest. And that's always a daunting task, to come back after climbing one mountain like a WS Cox Plate and be undefeated in all the Group 1 weight for age races in Melbourne, and then to come back under handicap conditions. Fred said it might have...
wasn't good enough on the day under all of the conditions. I thought when he raced handy early that he was well in the race, but when the final sprint came, he wasn't good enough.
Did he blow much after the race?
No, he's brought up pretty well. I just think that all of the circumstances combined to bring him undone. The winner is a seriously good horse. The other horse that beat him, well, you're going to wonder what happened there. I mean, perhaps I'm a little disappointed he just didn't go a bit better.
Will you press on to the Fruit and Veg now?
No, I can't say that categorically. I mean, we'll have a look and see how he pulls up and assess that over the next week or so.
Showing Nanny Maroon on top of Shogun Lodge, PlayStation and Terrible Taurus. And that rating would surprise many. Shogun Lodge $1.60, Nanny Maroon $7.60, Dynamic Love 11, PlayStation 10, age 44, Pimpala Player 27.
It's the last one to move in. $1.90 Shogun Lodge, $5 Nanny Maroon, Dynamic Love $9.30, PlayStation, who's been very well backed at $8.30. Plenty of late money for the Queensland horse. They're set to go for the Hudson Timber and Hardware Festival Stakes. And the gates are back and they're racing. Terrible Tourist began reasonably. Shogun Lodge second last on the inside settling. Jade Prince won the start. Desert Sachet going forward. And last of all is Space Age coming off the back. Oscar Warrior leads Pimpala Player. Jade Prince quickly moved up to go to third. Terrible Tourist fourth. Desert Sachet fifth. 2 lengths Shogun Lodge. He's racing on the inside of Lord Denning. They were followed by PlayStation. A length further back, Dynamic Love, Nanny Maroon, 4 Bill and Space Age. In the Festival Stakes, 600 to run. Oscar Warrior by a length and a half, Pimpala Player. Jade Prince third, Desert Sachet, Deep, Terrible Tourist back on the fence. One away, Lord Denning, making ground, PlayStation, Dynamic Love wide. Shogun's right behind them, breathing fire, but needs a run from Space Age. Nanny Maroon in traffic and 4 Bill. Down to the 350, Oscar Warrior kicked away by a length and a half, Pimpala Player. Oh, Shogun's got nowhere to go. He's bailed up. Here's PlayStation letting rip with a run. PlayStation goes after Oscar Warrior. Nanny Maroon starting to sprout wings. PlayStation hit the lead. Shogun still can't get out. Oscar Warrior, PlayStation. Nanny's flying. PlayStation in front. PlayStation. PlayStation from Nanny Maroon in a photo. A tight go, and Oscar Warrior the fence. Shogun Lodge climbing backs with nowhere to go. Terrible Tourist, Pimpala Player, Space Age, Dynamic Love, Jade Prince, Lord Denning, Desert Sachet. And last of all is 4 Bill. And PlayStation will just cling on, I think, to from Scone, Nanny Maroon. And in fact, Nanny's got up on the outside. Number 2, Nanny Maroon, Robert Thompson has just got there to beat PlayStation. And Oscar Warrior, Bernadette Cooper in 3rd position. So Nanny Maroon getting up in the very last stride to tip out PlayStation. In fact, 122.50. They've run 122.35 today.
Trouble navigating the field. He just talked out and rode his own race, and you know that was the end result. Shogun Lodge just never ever got out. You know,
Shogun Lodge was been out the odds-on favourite yesterday, and well, a wall of traffic in front of him.
He was the best thing he beat all day. Oh, he was unlucky. He just ran into traffic jam and ran into dead ends. There he is back near the tail on the fence. He looks like he might get a run through here. He's going to run straight over the top of the leaders, but once again ran into a traffic jam and dead ends, and he's actually throwing his head, fighting for his head on the line. So, you know, he should have won.
Still a good hit out for Hong Kong, where he's heading next week to contest the International Mile.
It's
Beautiful.
not a good race for top weights, that race. I was looking through it yesterday. Adam.
It's worth $173,000 in prize money. Marbur's 620. PlayStation backing up after racing on Saturday in the Festival Stakes, 550. Old Man Talgado, Bump and Run, 13. Simigan, 200. Carrail Boys at 12. Carrail Boys at 12. Tony Brassell's tip for the Cup. And McLaren Vale number.
Up behind the line, second run in this term. Simigan to move up. Bump and Run, widely drawn. Racing in the Cup, and they've broken a superb line. Bump and Run, Carrail Boy, Knickerbocker Kid, the last lunge as they come down the side. 650 to go in the Cup, and the Grey Flash. He's out nicely clear. Grey and Gull by 2 lengths on. Carrail Boy a length away. Rara Eclipse 2 lengths. Simigan. Zarayev off the track. PlayStation travels all right the fence. 6 off the lead. Then Salgado, Old Man, Bump and Run, McLaren Vale. They were followed well back by Marbuz the fence from Let's Compromise as they turn the bend. In the straight, Grey and Gold giving a sight. Carrail Boy is being turned loose, and Rara Eclipse 3 out. PlayStation into the clear, and he's starting to zoom down the centre, and McLaren Vale's getting a run. McLaren Vale's going after PlayStation. PlayStation, McLaren Vale, Carrail Boy, Rara Eclipse. Carrail Boy lifting. Carrail Boy won the Cup. A great win. Carrail Boy has come back from the canvas to win it from PlayStation. Photo third, McLaren Vale and Rara Eclipse, and Marbuz late on the scene. Then Let's Compromise, Grey and Gold, Old Man Salgado. Comes so quickly through the grades. Perfectly prepared by Bob Milligan. 16 starts, he's won 11 of those. He takes his prize money well over $100,000 with his biggest payday today. And Brad Pengelly, one of his career highlights, no doubt. But
that was his Cup selection, Carrail Boy, getting up at $9.50. Well done to Brad Pengelly, who's had plenty of ups and...
Update Doomben now with the Sky ratings. Clay Shaker at 100. Aggravation 90. Now the market on the summer stakes at Group 3 level. Zariz 440. Prince Hakeem 13. Golden Eye 25.
This is an excellent field. It's a lot like a Doomben 10,000 field. There's 18 runners. It's probably about 10 or 12 favourite, but he's been in excellent form. He's won his last 3 starts in excellent fashion. He's
stakes, and it is a good, and it's got Group 3 status on it now, and it's a very good race indeed. I must confess that might be down now. set, off and racing. Zara's came out only fairly. He's about third or fourth last away. Golden Eye from near the inside, the first to go, and Clay Shaker began brilliantly, and Regulations went up to make a line of 3 early. Federal Agent pinged out from the fence, followed further back then Alpine Express. Zara's is running about 11th, sandwiched away in between horses. Then came Aggravation, Prince Akeem, City Shy, Mace Gay, Seabreeze, Wishart is last. 500 metres to go. Golden Eye, Clay Shaker and Regulations, a line of 3. Federal Agent fourth, then King Lotto's Sensation. Further back came Treasure, the Quiller, Aflac, and Zara's and King Lotto coming to the outside. Zara's in traffic. Golden Eye slipped away at the 300 metres mark. Federal Agents into the clear. Then Clay Shaker. Prince Akeem's on the fence, and Aflac and Treasure, the Quiller's next. Golden Eye about to be joined by Federal Agent. Prince Akeem, look at Alpine Express. Alpine Express is flashing with our Mace Gay. Alpine Express beat A Mace Gay. Third Eye, the Federal Agent, in a photo out wide on the track with Aggravation. Close up, Wishart. Zara's never got a go at them than Seabreeze. The next time...
Doomben, Alpine Express, 57.10 and 12.10. A Maze K, 11.50. Jimmy Burns Mount got third. Federal Agent at 4.10. Quinella, 1,000 and at the New South Wales TAB trifecta. 88,487 in this state. An amazing discrepancy there.
The restructured Group 1s of the Perth Carnival is the 6th race. The ratings going with the railway winner, Old Comrade, 3 clear of Royal Retrieve. And then we go to the ever-consistent Corporate Bruce. The market, as we hear from Hilton Donaldson with the trainer of Royal Retrieve.
One of the star 3-year-olds in the Fruit and Veg Stakes is Royal Retrieve, which has won 6 of his past 7 starts, and his trainer Neville Parnham joins us.
Just about set. This is the Premier Weight for Age. And Guineas Girl Special Jester jumped away quickly, so did Royal Retrieve, and Finito Tribula broke well, and Missed Precisely is firing across for Dan Miller soon after the start from Dexian. Old Comrade's out wide, but Harvey's going to press forward on him. Face Your Fears and then Shot of Thunder. Finito dropped back, opening twist the 900 mark, and Missed Precisely trying to do it all the way. Leads the way from Tribula, getting fired up against Sansom. She's off the fence with the grey mare. Special Jester went to third. Royal Retrieve is about to hook out 3 deep, going around them 4 and 5 wide. Face Your Fears. Dexian is next, and that opening twist. In behind them, Guineas Girl, Old Comrade and Papillon together. Finito under a bit of pressure on the fence. Shot of Thunder, Mr. Tanzania a long way back, and last is Corporate Bruce, but it's Missed Precisely as they race around the home corner, and the Fruit and Veg Stakes a length and a half on Tribula. Third, Special Jester. Royal Retrievers over on the outside. Old Comrade back in the field, starts his run. He's coming with Dexian further back. Shot of Thunder, Missed Precisely the leader, but Old Comrade quickly gathered her in. Old Comrade swept past Missed Precisely. He is a dynamic 4-year-old, and he completes a rare double, wins it back to back. Old Comrade trotted home from Missed Precisely. Shot of Thunder flew for third. Royal Retrieve, Special Jester close up, and then Dexian Finito, followed by Tribula, Papillon opening twist. Further back, Mr. Tanzania didn't fire. Corporate Bruce, Guineas Girl.
Now, Paul Harvey is out of the saddle here. The reason, not sure, but no doubt Hilton Donaldson will pass it along from the track.
Years ago with Old Nick, and now back-to-back with Old Comrade. First as a 3-year-old, now as a 4-year-old, and joins an elite group of horses. In fact, only 2 others that have won the race on 2 occasions in the past 26 years, and they, of course, were the Great Family of Man. And Summer Bow, who's gone on, of course, won nearly $1.5 million in Singapore since. And really, it was down to a master stroke training performance by a very special guest this morning on Racing Retro, Graham.
Certainly is, and you might care to introduce us to our special guest.
Okay, well, of course, Lindsay Smith was to join us after the Railway Stakes a couple of weeks ago, but Lindsay, this horse was having his 5th start in 4 weeks, and you must have put a very solid foundation into Old Comrade when he came back from Victoria.
Yeah, well, when he was in Victoria, he was over there with Cliff Brown. He was there for a few months, so he had a lot of preparation there. When he come here, he got a bit of a cold when he come home. We were able to step him straight into our sort of regime, and thankfully he come through it pretty good.
Okay.
I didn't know whether the horse had been galloped on or not, but when I got there he appeared to be fine, so Paul just thought when he hit the line that he put in a couple of short ones, but the vet check revealed about an hour later that he had mild lameness on the near side, but I couldn't find anything wrong with the horse this morning.
He travelled 3 wide. He travelled 3 wide for most of the journey. Was that a pre-race plan, or is that just something that worked out okay in the end?
Oh, it's worked out okay in the end. I think Paul's our best jockey here. He sort of, I thought it was a good move to go forward and then grab hold around the 1500, and he sort of, that set it up so someone had to go around him and give him cover. So once he had cover, I don't think he cared he was 3 deep, as long as he had cover.
Lindsay, what sort of plans you got with the horse now? Like Hilton Donaldson was trying to plot a program towards the Perth Cup for him, but what sort of trip do you think this horse will be running?
Oh, no, he won't be going to the Perth Cup. He'll go to the Spelling Paddock. He'll have maybe 4 to 5 weeks off, and he'll be set to tackle the Australian Cup.
Interesting situation, that, isn't it?
Clang 2-year-old filly Callaway Girl was the star at Eagle Farm yesterday when she made it 4 starts for 4 wins in the C.E. McDougall Stakes. Trained by Bruce Brown and ridden by Starthy Katsitas, she started the long odds-on favourite and never gave them a look in. Callaway Girl's first for home. Raw Diamond went Bush. Solemnity got the run, and Sandasta got a lovely run in the middle. Callaway Girl's the leader, 300 metres to go, led by a length and a half. Solemnity in second spot. Sandasta pulled to the outside, but she's kicked Callaway Girl. In fact, she's bolted away. Past the 200 metres mark, she's gapped them. She's put 5 lengths on Solemnity. Sandasta the outside, but she is a filly and a half, Callaway Girl. She's going to bolt in the C.E. McDougall, and Callaway Girl won by 4 lengths. Sandasta second.
Well, Starthy, what can we say about Callaway Girl? She's done everything you expected, and of course, when we spoke to you earlier, you felt she'd made that improvement. Do you still feel that now?
Yeah, definitely. It gets stronger every time you put her down. After today, I said before, and like there's no doubt about the 12, but now you've got to look at whether she gets 14, I think, because she just feels that strong at the end of these races. She's just awesome, you know. You couldn't compare her to anything else that rode so far.
In the race, did you...
The coverage here, Hong Kong, the route sprints, and there's the track there, and you can see where they'll be starting and finishing. It is a straight 3 Shartin. All Thrills 2 at $6.50. We've got $5.90 Century Kid, $3.60 Falvalon. More Luck is at $6.70. $6.34 Majiro Darling. It's firming, still value compared to what's happening on course at Shartin.
And thanks for joining us today. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thanks, Darren. Great pleasure.
Let's take it to David Rafal now for the commentary of the International Sprint.
Thank you, Darren and Greg. Yes, Plenty stands up well. Cliffhanger up next to. By for a start, and they're racing in the sprint. Nice one, Claire away, Fairdy. Falvalon jumped well. All Thrills 2 eases back in nicely, and King of Danes leads from the trader, Kenwood Melody. Solid Contacts getting up close and away well. Century Kid and Taki Yamoto pushed on to stay with them. Majiro Darling, Cliffhanger close. Falvalon's got back midfield from Nice One, Claire, All Thrills 2. Plenty out the back, and Nuclear Debate's about 5 off the lead. 500 to go. Century Kid leads nearer the flat. Majiro Darling's off the bridle. Cliffhanger close. Morluck's 2 off the front. Solid Contact the middle. The Trader's running a race at the 400 on the fence. Century Kid fades down in front of him. The Trader had to switch course. Falvalon's coming through. Out wide of Morluck. Morluck and Falvalon, they're coming again, but they've got to get to Century Kid. They've got him now. 150 out. Falvalon, Morluck, Century Kid fighting hard. Falvalon and Morluck, they're stride for stride. Hong Kong roars for All Thrills 2. Falvalon and Morluck. Morluck dives. Falvalon went ahead. He beat Morluck. What a great race. All Thrills 2 third. Century Kid 4. The Trader, Nice One, Claire fairly close to them. Next into the field, Solid Contact, Taki Yamoto, Kenwood Melody, Nuclear Debate, Plenty, Cliffhanger, King of Danes, Majiro Darling's pulled up last of all. It's a bobbing photo. Noses up and down. Morluck's come with a big surge at Falvalon. Falvalon put his head down right on the wire and has won by a lip. What a great finish. Produced some great moments. Last year these 2 horses came down in a nail-biting finish, and today the 2 of them have gone to the line locked together again. He's dropped his head, Morluck, but I feel that Falvalon has won, and All Thrills 2 has run the race of his life. Here it is. They dive, and he's got it. Falvalon, the wonder from down under, has won from Morluck. All Thrills 2 ahead off them third. Century Kid so brave 4. The Trader 5, then Nice One. Let's go to Mark Richards, who's with Damien Oliver now.
Thank you very much, David. Damien, it's deja vu all over again. A tremendous finish, and you've just managed to get there yet again.
Oh, it was too close for comfort, mate. We were in front, about 100 metres to go, 50 metres to go. and more luck just wouldn't give in. He just kept coming back at us, and also the local horse, All Thrills too, he was gallant in defeat, and oh, it was a mighty finish.
Let's walk him on down a little bit because you don't want to be here all up.
He doesn't know how to give up. He never finishes, rarely finished further back than 1, 2, 3, and he was just going on his pure courage the last 50 metres.
You take that crowd again, Damien. Very well done.
So Damien Oliver again successful on Felvalon. Dan Begorn and Felvalon and Damien Oliver.
Over the 2400. Past winner in this, Indigenous number 5, is at 10-1. There is backing for Ekra. Frankie Dettori's right here. 870 Caetano, of course. Helene Vitality at 12, nice odds. I'm just looking further over. 350 now. And Zindabad has had back.
Bad dwelt a bit. Helene Vitality a bump at the start. Caetano slowly out, and Tappledo immediately drops out the back. Oriental Express and Whiteheart bounced well. To make it a staying effort, they're going to have to catch him. Zindabad's off the bridle to kick, followed by Oriental Express. Daddy Apor sets out, but Frankie's been brilliant. He's dashed a break. Maybe he's gone too early, though. 600 to go, he's 4 in front. Off the bridle, Litigado. Daddy Apor sets out after him. Foundation Spirit, Whiteheart the middle. Indigenous on heels. Stay Gold came deeper. Zindabad cluttered up from Oriental Express, faded out. Frankie had gone early. He's still 4 in front at the 300-metre mark. He's 5 in front. Stay Gold's winding up. Will Ekra see it out? Stay Gold, the Japanese roar for him. But at the 200, Frankie's well clear on Ekra. Stay Gold hangs in, goes to second. Then came Foundation Spirit. Out wider, Indigenous runs on. Stay Gold's lifting. Ekra stopping. Stay Gold lunges and wins. Yataka wins the prize. Right on the wire. Stay Gold beat Ekra. Indigenous 8 off them. 3rd from Foundation Spirit. Helene Vitality, Whiteheart. Next in came Tappledo. Daddy Apor faded with Zindabad, Whiteheart in front of them. Next in, Survey General, Caetano, Rainbow and Gold. Oriental Express, you've been great. He's out the back. Litigado last of all.
What an amazing finish. Stay Gold, the favourite in the last few bounds, has just got up to win the bars in a fantastic finish. Frankie and runners get represented, of course, by Shogun Lodge and Showa Heart. They are 2 of the leading chances. Electronic Unicorn with John Size training is a big hope at $3.30. Forbidden Apple's been supported 16. China Visit at 18. And also Zeno El Cid, well backed into 5.10. Let's take you to Sha Tin from the Hong Kong Mile now.
Gate number 5 on the horse number 13 in pre-post markets was around the 8-9 to 1 mark, and here he is today. He opened at 6 to 4 and he's now touching red figures as the starter calls him into the gates. Frankie Dettori rode a blinding race in the Vase onto Ekra. He tried to pinch it at the 600 metre.
Slow to go, not a lot of speed, tough speed. China Visit missed the kick, and the best one out from the middle. Charming City goes to the lead. NOL Sid lets it cross. Forbidden Apple's going to get in beautifully here. Red Sun out deeper from Asian Preston, and Tough Speed barreling through with China Visit and Super Molly. Cover from Mountaboo, Showa Heart, Red Pepper, Shogun Lodge, Electronic Unicorn last. Charming City half a length. Zeno Sid in second. 3rd China Visit as they run the circle, and 4th placing Forbidden Apple. Out wider, Proud Wings travels okay underneath at Tough Speed. Red Sun's had a hard trip. Super Asian Preston next from Showa Heart, Mountaboo. Electronic Unicorns 8 off the front. He's going to have to go deep. Red Pepper and Shogun Lodge last on the rail. Charming City doing it tough. He's hanging tough at the quarter. He's in front of Zeno El Cid. China Visit gets out. Forbidden Apple runs flat. Oh, the mare was held up. Proud Wings as Asian Preston and Electronic Unicorn start their run. China Visit's trying to get to the inside. Charming City still in front. Now Asian Preston and Electronic Unicorn. Asian Preston had swept up, gone to the lead. The Japanese again. Yuichi Fukunaga riding hard, and Asian Preston too good. What a big run deep all of the way and blew them away. Electronic Unicorn second. 3rd on the inside, China Visit. Charming City couldn't go on. Next in, Shogun Lodge, all in a clump. Proud Wings, Showa Heart. Forbidden Apple ran flat from Super Money, Tough Speed. Red Pepper, Red Sun, Mountaboo, and... oh, gee, they're good. The Japanese again. He couldn't have done it any tougher.
Electronic Unicorn, China Visit. Shogun Lodge for one fleeting second in the straight when he probed up there on the rails. Shane Dye looked for all the inside runs on him. He looked like he was going to be right in the finish,
been the best tried on track here, the place getter from the Derby. Frankie Dettori's been telling us all week that this is the pick of the Godolphin horses that have been placed in the other two races. This is 9 to 4 to 7 to 4 at Chartin, and the best tried in the race. Second pick on track is Agnes Digital, who's been very prominent right through betting, and Bark is on the third line of betting around the 6 or 7 to 1 mark in company with Jim and Tonic, who's lining up for his 7th start here at Chartin, a previous winner of the race. So it's
And they're racing. Terra eases back, not a lot of speed by Saddle Up and away well Bocelli, but Bark is going forward. Agnes Digital's getting over, and Taboo underneath them with Housemaster also trying to get a spot. Hawkeye holds the rail at the moment, and Silvano's deep to the first corner from Monard's Bocelli the rail. Taboo still the front runner, Bark second, Hawkeye third. There's no change in the play. Frankie's had a dream in front and he's rolling again, followed by Housemaster, Agnes Digital. Silvano travels well, he'll have to be good, he's 3 deep. Next in between them is Terra, Jim and Tonic follows closely. He goes past Monards, momentum off the bridle for a moment, followed by Bocelli drifting back. Chalk Eyes Peak Power last of all. On the corner it's Taboo still in front, Agnes Digital has gone up, Silvano starts his run, Barks off the bridle, Terra there, Jim and Tonic follows Silvano, he'll go in a moment. 400 to go, the Japanese again, Agnes Digital go to Taboo, Terra's running well, Silvano's a bit flat, Jim and Tonic switches out, he'll have to kick as good as ever. Next then through the middle, Hawkeye, Agnes Digital, Terra, Taboo is coming back, Agnes Digital, Terra on the outside, Sumion riding hard, but it's Agnes Digital, he's holding out all guns, Terra, Taboo again late, Agnes Digital, Japan conquer, Hong Kong may win the cup. It's Agnes Digital from Taboo, Terra, Hawkeye the middle, Jim and Tonic next, Peak Power through the middle, followed by Saddle Up, Chalk Eyes, Bocelli, next in Bark, Monard, Silvano faded, and Housemaster's run in last of all. What a day for the Japanese. They've come and taken the money. 3 of the major horses have gone around here today and they've won. Agnes Digital from barrier number 12 landed close. He then...
There's the Dibs, 450 and 180, 150 and 790, 650 Quinella.
100, 6, 8 and 13 ahead of... PlayStation at 7:30. It's got a lot of work.
The inside gate, are you happy with that?
Yeah, I'd sooner have the inside than the outside. It's the shortest way home.
What are the instructions for Brad Pengelly?
Well, I'll jump him out and they'll take him on in front and sit in behind him. Hope he can get over him down the straight.
Race the Ace. From the neck of Race the Ace. He's a magnificent individual, Race the Ace. My gosh, he's a good sort. And that was a magnificent start. Grey and Gull, one of the best to break the line, commencing well was Oscar Warrior, Dynamic Love and Carrail Boy, nice and handy. A length further back is Rare Eclipse, followed 2.5 lengths further off is McLaren Vale. They come along the side of the track and race in the direction of the 650 in the Villiers. Oscar Warrior narrowly from Grey and Gold. Dynamic Love third, Carrail Boy is next, and then Rare Eclipse, Varacool. A length further away is Space Age, Let's Compromise, Agent Court Express, and then Race the Ace, Chinoy, Old Man, PlayStation, McLaren Vale, Mar Buzz and Knickerbocker Kid. They're homeward bound, and Oscar Warrior and Bernadette Cooper straighten up with Carrail Boy popping off the fence to go after the leader. Dynamic Love is coming into it, and so Space Age, and then Grey and Gold, but Carrail Boy hits the front now. 100 to go, Carrail Boy from Space Age and Oscar Warrior. Carrail Boy the leader, Space Age is coming at him. Carrail Boy 5 in a row. Carrail Boy beats Space Age, Oscar Warrior Race the Ace, Let's Compromise and Dynamic Love from PlayStation Agent Court Express. Old Man Varacool, Chinoy enough to the tail of the field. Well done, Brad Pengelly. Well done, Bob Milligan. And well done, Carrail Boy. 5 on the trot. He's paid $5.20 and $2.20. Yes, isn't that marvellous for country racing? And this horse has had 17 starts for 12 wins. I first saw him in the flesh at Newcastle during the Cup Carnival, and gee, looked good. And in and fourth to come. Carrail Boy has paid...
Win the 1200, the 1350, and then the mile. So this year it was the Carlton Draft 2 weeks ago, won by Alpine Express. Then today they get to the Doomben Stakes, and in a couple of weeks they get to the Burnborough Handicap. And that's over the mile. Chief de Beers went close. I think maybe the first year he won both legs, of the first 2 legs. and everyone thought he's a bit suspect that 2001. And horse of Bruce McLaughlin's run second. And they're racing. Prince Hakeem left okay, but he's drifting back. A Maceco was slow to move at the start. Golden Eye was the first to ping out and led from Ombra Della Sierra. King Lotto's Alpine Express a little bit deep as they neared the corner, followed by Might and Gold, Trevor Skye, A Maceco and Wisharda's last. Around the bend it's King Lotto and the London Banker straightening for home. Golden Eye third from Ombra Della Sierra. Then Federal Agent close to danger, and now Prince Hakeem. He's pulled to the outside. He's going to come quickly. At the 200, it's King Lotto on the inside and the London Banker. From Golden Eye, Prince Hakeem is rattling quickly. King Lotto, the London Banker and Golden Eye. It's King Lotto fighting on every inch of the way. King Lotto, another front runner, wins. King Lotto's beaten the London Banker. Third's a photo, either Golden Eye or Federal Agent, with City Shy close up with Prince Hakeem. The next home was Seabreeze, was fifth. And that was Federal Agent. Quinella, 85.
And from Vinaka, man. Wow. Now it's now into $3.80 the 5. And here, $7.40, so massive overs. Second elect is the 13 at $5. The Aussie Hope is super impressive, number 3. Pure Theatre is nowhere near that short in New Zealand. It's at $10.
Take up its outside draw. Pure Theatre ready to go, so bet and set now. Lion Red Railway Stakes, Group 1. 1,200 metres, and they're off in the railway. And Star Satire bounced out. It's a good start. O'Malley's Boy, Life of Riley there, Spring Rain, charging up the takeover and tracking it around Vinaka on the outside. They followed out Sound the Alarm, the next one, Kazman. Then on the outside next, super impressive going forward. O'Malley's Boy got back on the in. They went by the 800 metres, and the leader is Vinaka, took over, led by 2 now from Spring Rain. Around into second spot now, Life of Riley charges up, then Star Satire getting squeezed back on the inside. Sound the Alarm, super impressive going forward quickly. Tracked round by Billy Quinn, then followed Pure Theatre. Star Satire back on the inside with Kazman, 2 to O'Malley's Boy. Travelling Man back last with Viner's Lane. Around the corner they come in the railway. Vinaka the inside, Life of Riley the 2 now, super impressive. Down the outside for Seema, then followed by Sound the Alarm's getting a run, 1 off the rail. Across the track, 200 Vinaka kicks Sound the Alarm out after it, super impressive on the outside of the 2. Sound the Alarm hit the lead, Vinaka and super impressive. Travelling Man down the extreme outside and Pure Theatre. Sound the Alarm, too good though, races away to win the railway. Photo second, super impressive, Vinaka close. Then followed by Pure Theatre, Star Satire, the next one home. Then followed by, next was Kazman, Viner's Lane running on out.
Probably didn't really improve until the 400
race. There's others that look well. I thought Kiwi Warrior looks well, PlayStation looks well. There's a number of them. This is a good race, Burnborough handicap, John, so look, we'll stick with what we had, 15, 3, 10 and 16.
Right, Larry, thank you. PlayStation
Warrior, they're on the side, 700 from home, and Pimpala players our new leader. Kilimanjaro second, Jack Lives Here third, Count Scenario fourth on the outside. Federal Agents next on the inside, then So Precise. This Man Should's going forward in a big hurry, followed by Stormy Lodge, Alpine Express. PlayStation to the outside from Seabreeze, Bales and Kiwi Warrior as they turn. Pimpala player leads at the 300. Kilimanjaro and Count Scenario and Hot Pursuit from Jack Lives Here. Federal Agent, This Man Should. PlayStation and Kiwi Warriors coming down the outside. Count Scenario hit the front, but look at PlayStation. PlayStation pounced on him. Kiwi Warrior late. PlayStation got to the lead from Count Scenario and PlayStation. PlayStation has won. I think Kiwi Warrior might have got second just in front of Count Scenario and Bales. The next time, Federal Agent, Hugh Gia. On the fence then, final forecast, followed then by... Well, he's done it again. PlayStation. Number 1.
Yes, thanks, Al. Gerald Ryan, 12 months since he last won. Oh, gee, he did it in great style. But
been south a couple of times with him. I don't think he handles that way of ground going, all that crash shot, so we'll spell him and bring him back to the carnival.
And the Hart brothers going through the Premier Sale, so that'd be really nice for him if she ran a nice race today.
Magic Albert got plenty of weight, 390, spotting Ha about 3, and that's not easy to do. Magic Albert at 390. Now over to Ha $3.40, so there's little between them. National Anthem about to be rendered. Sky ratings.
In 100 years on the Gold Coast. The last time that temperature was established was back in 1902. So 43.2 degrees on Magic Millions Day this year. An absolute scorcher. So if you back a horse today, or he or she doesn't go particularly well, I think you might have to be a little bit forgiving, because some of these horses will struggle here today. Now, More Than a Woman, 3. Are all set to go. Ha Ha in 6, Magic Albert the outside. The lights go on, they're set, and they're off and racing. Time Out was slow to move at the start, and one of the first to go was Roaring 40's Emperor Star began quickly. Now Magic Albert's back about second or third last, and Ha Ha and Dash for Cash are in the leading division. On set, Sydney's out deep on the track, and then came Dutch Harry, Trail of Gold. Magic Albert's a long way back from Hello Pamela, followed by Time Out and Wan Mo, and last of all is More Than a Woman. 700 metres to go, and Empire the leader by 1.5 to Marbine. Emperor Star third, Ha Ha's in a close fourth. Dash for Cash is now fifth inside Road to Heaven from Sydney, followed by Damon Beauty, and then came Roaring 40's Dutch Harry. Magic Albert's a long way from them, turning for home, but he's coming to the outside. In the straight, Empire the leader, Marbine second. Here's Ha Ha coming at them. Dash for Cash, Road to Heaven. Magic Albert down the outside from Damon Beauty. Empire in front at the 200. Here's Ha Ha coming after Empire, and then Magic Albert. Empire the leader at the 100. Ha Ha trying hard to pick it up. It's Ha Ha and Empire. Ha Ha's level now. Ha Ha's a nose in front, and Ha Ha beats Empire. Third home in the race, Dash for Cash. Fourth, Magic Albert. Then came Marbine, followed by Roaring 40's Damon Beauty, Road to Heaven, Dutch Harry, Wan Mo. The next time, More Than a Woman. And then came Time Out. Hello. Ha Ha is the winner.
She loves racing on the pace, and the twice she hasn't been on the pace has been the twice she was beaten in Sydney. I'm delighted.
What a great fight, though. The last furlong. Okay, to Canterbury Park now, Wayne Harris.
Hard act to follow there, John.
Australia's finest jockeys, Darren Beedman, who's a regular face on this program. Good to see you, mate.
Great, Taffy. Good to be scoring up with you this morning, mate.
What?
Good to be scoring up with you.
Are you insinuating
like
that I look like I'm wearing race goggles or something? Hey?
Looks like you should be on a gig, mate.
I think I'll take them off and be Mr. Magoo for the rest of the show. Okay, I believe conditions are much cooler. We have the cast of Hawaii 5-0, Alan Thomas and Larry Olsen.
Good morning. I've got a sneaking suspicion, Larry, that Ha Ha and Magic Albert are going to have a few more battles before they're finished. They finished Magic Albert third, Ha Ha fourth in the Magic Millions last year. Then they had that race in Sydney the other day. Then they were in that race again yesterday. Ha Ha had the breaks from the alley. Magic Albert did a terrific job. I thought his run was super. I just think that Magic Albert and Ha Ha are going to be those two horses that wherever one is in a race, the other one's going to be right on its hammer, and the result will depend on the luck in the run, I think.
Oh, there's no doubt, Al.
The crop market on this, and PlayStation at 5.20. Prince Hakeem 6.50. Count Scenario 30.
Now PlayStation is about to come up towards the barrier stalls. He won last year. He won the Burnborough Handicap, and then he came back here 7 days later and won the Amy Gold Coast Stakes, coming back from the 1600 to the 1400. And I wonder if he can do it again. Sometimes horses self with them. And he's a very good horse, PlayStation. Even with his 59 kilos, he'll have to give them a start, but you never underestimate him. Now, and they're off in the Amy Gold Coast Stakes. Fair start too, except for Ame Skye, which is out the back. And Crop was the first to ping out and led in the early part. Cal Neura's going quickly, so is the London Banker. Bales in the go, Cal Neura the leader. Led by a length, Crop in the middle. The London Bankers posted out 3 deep. Pimpala Players 4 deep. Nazareth is racing 5th on the inside. Prince Hakeem's in the middle. And Bales picking up ground between horses. 2.5 to Sammy on the inside, a Scarlex, then Bravissa. Now PlayStation's picking up ground on the outside. I tell you what, he looks to be going okay too, even with his 59. Then Count Scenario and Ame Skye and Hirschberg. They're on the bend for home, 400 out. Cal Neura led around the turn, tackled by Crop. The London Banker 3 out, followed by Prince Hakeem, Nazareth and Bale, Scarlex, and PlayStation's the widest runner. Cal Neura, Crop and the London Banker at the 200. Nazareth getting into the clear. Prince Hakeem, Bales, and PlayStation's coming late. The London Banker, the leader. PlayStation is rocketing down the outside. PlayStation goes to the London Banker and nailed him. PlayStation, big win, beats the London Banker. Third either Bales or Bravissa, which got through late near the fence. The next time, Nazareth and Hirschberg together from Cal Neura, and he has done it again. What a performance. Number 1 PlayStation, ridden by Scott Seamer. 59 kilos. He got left a little bit flat-footed on the point of the corner when they sprinted, but he was able to flash down the outside, and he's nailed the London.
Dead heat for second as Scott Seamer, who has been such a familiar figure in the winner's circle in the last few months, again coming underneath the Victory Horseshoe after riding the winner of the Amy Gold Coast Stakes. Well, here's a bloke who had plenty of...
On a board here at the Gold Coast. One designates a photo and the other one designates a dead heat.
Well, you couldn't believe that horse could complete the Burnborough Handicap Amy Gold Coast Stakes double in consecutive years. Gerald Ryan... Well, the Magic Millions 2-year-old classic favourites have won this every year since 1997. Can Snowland keep up the averages? Here's Alan Thomas.
Well, John, I think he probably can. He's a beautiful colt. He looked magnificent going to the barrier today. As I've said in a couple of interviews I've done for the media this week, he's got a bit of snobbery about him. He's precocious. He walks around as if he owns the joint. I like that in a young horse. Stand by. And they're racing. And Snowland left okay, came out about the first 4. And Guineas from the inside, the first to go, headed quickly by Sun Kisses on the outside, which went to the lead. Felicitate goes quickly to third from Rory's North. Chuckle's going up quickly on the outside. Snowland's going to settle 6th around the first corner. Then came Blur, Lovely Jubbly, followed by Milabarchi, Sunday Joy. Further back, Grandway Shogun, Toast of the Coast, followed by Cool Trent Obsessions. A long way back on the field, Balala, and last is Dark Topaz. Heading down towards the 1200 or the 800 metres mark, and Sun Kisses joined by Chuckle. Rory's North going up on the outside. Just behind them on the fence, Guineas. Here's Snowland coming out deep on the point of the corner. And as they round the turn, 350 to go. It's Chuckle going to the lead from Sun Kisses. Snowland's called upon. Felicitate, Rory's North for the effort. Then came Guineas and Sunday Joy's down the outside. Sun Kisses just in front of Chuckle. Guineas coming at them. Snowland's trying hard now, and Sunday Joy is storming late. Chuckle, look at Lovely Jubbly. Lovely Jubbly's got through. Lovely Jubbly's grabbed Chuckle. Lovely Jubbly wins the Magic Millions from Chuckle. Third, either Cool Trent or Sunday Joy's out deep on the track. Behind those, Dark Topaz, Blur, followed by Guineas, Balala. The next time, Snowland, followed then a long way back, Toast of the Coast, Grandway Shogun, Obsession, never got it. Lovely Jubbly has flashed through in between runners, ridden by Scott Seamer. Fair dinkum, how do you stop him? Number 9, Lovely Jubbly.
He's won Melbourne Cups, Caulfield Cups, Auckland Cups, New Zealand Derbies. Where will it stop?
There's no ending. And, mate, when you're on this wave, you've just got to keep on it and keep hanging 5 all the way. And, look, he just finds...
Chuckle ran a beaut race from a wide gate, 2:30. Cool Trent, 6:60. Quinella, 42:20. Trifecta on the map. The jockey of the year, maybe the jockey of the decade, Scott Seamer, whose magical winning run continues. Scott, congratulations again. And from June until January, you've been taking them by storm.
Yeah, things have been going very well, and I just hope the run continues.
Master of the understatement, Scott, because things have been going just better than good. They've been going fantastic. And yesterday you got all the breaks your way too on Lovely Jubbly. It looked like you were running into a traffic jam at about the top of the straight, and then the Red Sea opened up for you and straight through you went.
Yeah, that's right. I had a little bit more trouble earlier. She jumped straight left as they opened the gates, and she was a lot further back than I thought she would be. And then she was on heels and raced very greenly until we got into the straight, and then after that I was lucky enough to secure the run, clear run in the straight, and she really got home well.
Did you ever think you were going to win the race, say, from about the 800 to the home turn, where you were in all sorts of bother with the horse all over the shop?
No, I didn't. Not at that stage. I was more concerned about where I was and the way she was racing so greenly.
What happened at about the 200-metre mark?
I'm the master of the understatement, but the reality is that it was the talk of the pubs and clubs around Australia last night whether any jockey of any era had had a big race run to compare with yours. Has that been discussed with you? Is anyone saying to you that nobody has done it since Jockey X?
No, not at this stage, but I have thought myself, I've had such an amazing run. It's just continued from one race meeting, major race meeting, really, to the next, and you know, I'm just taking it as it comes because I know one day that it could stop.
What's been the turnaround?
Beg your pardon?
Do you owe it all to
100 ahead of Sir Chuckle and Perfect Crime. And in the Zetative Stakes, the market is Perfect Crime 950, Sheraton 26, Sir Chuckle 3.
And a very good field too. Last year, Desert Eagle won it for Patrick Payne, beat Mr. Murphy. And last of all, Sir Chuckle scorched past the 600 by 2 Barcata. Celtic Verse third, and then Constructed. Jules Lino a length to Sheraton. 2 lengths to Tarcoola Midnight, Toscanos, and then came Golden Fawn. About 8 lengths from the leader coming around the turn from Trenches, Perfect Crime and Carrail. Sir Chuckle first into the straight from Barcata, who's quickly out to challenge, and then Celtic Verse called on for the run, followed by Jules Lino. Golden Fawn last past the 200, where Barcata sprinted up quickly and took the lead from Sir Chuckle, and then Celtic Verse and Trenches down the outside, but Barcata's racing right away, and Barcata's 3 in front of the run home, and Barcata won it well. Sir Chuckle just held second, Celtic Verse third, then Perfect Crime, Tarcoola Midnight, and they were followed by Constructed, Jules Lino, Trenches, next Carrail and Toscanos, Sheraton, and the heavily tried favourite Golden Fawn, last of all in 18.24.
And the Freedman dominance continues in Melbourne. Barcata, Patrick Payne, $5.40 and 2.10. Cert 190, Celtic Verse 2.10. Quinoza 87 and Bomber Bill 70 on the Rubiton Stakes. Group 3. Market. Bomber Bill 760, Sedurka 380, Little Dozer 6.
Sedurka is the second pick. He's had support as well. Rubiton racing now, and Intelligent Star out reasonably down towards the inside. Sedurka got away well, and Typhoon Billy drives through in company with Intelligent Star. It's the grey mare going to the lead as they say. It's Typhoon Billy leading the favourite Intelligent Star past the 600. Bomber Bill only a length and a half behind them, and then Sedurka in 4th place. And then came Thong and Pushbike on the inside, and Little Dozer. Typhoon Billy by the 400, led by over 2 lengths. Intelligent Star travelled equally as well in second placing, and then Bomber Bill easing out from Sedurka. In the straight, Typhoon Billy about to be grabbed by Intelligent Star, and in turn, Bomber Bill. He's coming with a strong burst on the outside. Intelligent Star, he leads 3/4 though. He's out in front of Bomber Bill, and then came Sedurka and Little Dozer, but Intelligent Star is too good. He pulls clear the last bit. Intelligent Star by a little over 2 lengths on the line to Bomber Bill. Sedurka's run 3rd, Little Dozer 4th, and then Thong and Pushbike, and Typhoon Billy dropped out to finish last of all. Favourite all too good to pay 2.
From on course, we should now hear from a few of the jockeys who saddle up in the Amy
Stakes at Warwick Farm, and here's Ian.
Thank you, John. And the challenge out here at Warwick Farm, strange, isn't it? We normally see it at Randwick, of course, where last year Pimpala Prince beat Smoothing a bit Mystegic. Off this time, he jumped very quickly, Mystegic, and he leads narrowly from 8/8 on settling down. Commencing very well, Calming, followed by Mini Me, Huge Demand, and then Umbani, followed by Bomber Bill, Sapira, Shanksy, and Punch Drunk is last. 750 left to run, and Mystegic can't get to the rails. Second is 8/8, Calming, 3rd, and 2 lengths Umbani, followed by Bomber Bill, and then a gap to Mini Me, a length and a half to Huge Demand, Punch Drunk, Supera, and 2.5 lengths to Shanksy. Down to the corner, 400 to go, and 8/8 on the inside, shading the favourite Mystegic, and on the inside of the 2 fancied ones is Calming. Almost 3 in line, straightening up with 8/8 the middle, Mystegic the outside, Calming the inner, Bomber Bill tackling the trio, and then comes Umbani. Mystegic got clear, 150 to go. Bomber Bill is racing up dangerously on the outside. Damien Oliver driving Bomber Bill to Mystegic, heads it off, and Bomber Bill comes away to win the challenge. Bomber Bill beat Mystegic. 3rd was 8/8, and then Umbani with Calming, Mini Me, Punch Drunk, Huge Demand, Shanksy and Sapira. The rank outsider was Stone Motherless last. And another big win to Ollie. Number 1, Bomber Bill, suited by the way the race was run, 4 York.
We'll have a look at the William English Classic.
$400,000, easily the richest race run in Australia yesterday. And here is Ian Craig with his call.
This time again, Schwarzer dwelt and is back a conspicuous last on settling down, and Pillaging is the early leader. Going up very quickly is Planogram to have a shot and now leads the favourite, Pillaging a half length. The length and a half third is Al Megdam, followed over on the inside next by Mukarina, and not far away as they sort themselves out Sportsman, and then Royal Perler, and 2 lengths then Schwarzer, Half Hennessy, followed by Desert Money, Fuji Beauty and Daneville is last. They race along to the 600 marker, and the leader is Planogram, a half length on Pillaging. A length away third is Sportsman, 3 deep, followed by Mukarina, Al Megdam, Half Hennessy, Royal Perler. 2 lengths to Schwarzer, spotting them a fair start. Then Desert Money, Fuji Beauty, and 3 lengths to Daneville. On the corner, 400 metres left to go, and Planogram under pressure. Pillaging cruised up on the outside, and wider is Sportsman, then Mukarina, and Schwarzer hooking 5 and 6 wide, and he's coming home. Great guns. They race down to the 200 in the Classic, and Schwarzer, he went up to the Victorian Pillaging and paid to him in the twinkling of an eye, and away goes Schwarzer from Pillaging and Mukarina, and Schwarzer, a brilliant winner in the William Inglis Classic. Pillaging second, Mukarina third, and Sportsman was fourth. Then Half Hennessy, Royal Perler, followed home then by Desert Money.
Well, not surprisingly, regular jockey Len Beasley and trainer and part owner Paul Perry are pretty excited about Schwarzer.
Lenny, a beautiful ride on Schwarzer today to win the feature race.
Yeah, it all worked out how I wanted it to, Joe. He was a little bit slow out. Then he sort of mustered speed pretty quickly and got up there. And the big thing with the horse, I just wanted to get plenty of daylight, because when he's in behind runners, he just totally switches off. And as soon as I seen a little gap just before the corner, I
Yes, a very good win from Schwarzer. I just saw another 250,000 go missing as he went past Pillaging. He went past him pretty quick too. Pillaging didn't run a bad race, had to cross from a wide alley, probably had to do a bit more work, but in the end, the better horse beat him, got an easy run behind him, and really knocked him over in the last 100 metres. But I think Schwarzer might be a golden slipper chance. I'll be surprised if they take him down to the Blue Diamond, because although it'd be a great chance there, that makes your golden slipper prospect very much more difficult if you do all that travelling, and he looks like a slipper horse to me.
I believe Paul Perry did say on Radio 2KY this morning that they were thinking at this point of time of just resting the horse, not taking him down for the Blue Diamond, concentrate on the golden slipper and races like that. But as John and I were just...
And last was Ambush on the swing. Venus was her name, a length on Damasceno, who's laying down the gauntlet, and Vapor Trail and Scott Seamer getting into the clear, and with a very good turn of foot has raced to the lead in the Oaks. Vapor Trail a length and a half clear, 150 to go. Running on Certain Quarter, Damasceno, and then Monterey Bay. But Scott Seamer and Vapor Trail for Bruce Sherwin grabs the Oaks. Great win. Vapor Trail won at Certain Quarter second. Very close.
Well, earlier on we mentioned the glorious uncertainty of thoroughbred genetics, talking about Heir de France getting a horse like Bomber Bill. What about this one? Vapor Trail. It's won a 2,400 metre Group 1 Oaks. It's by Jetball, a Galaxy winner.
But he does get a few stars, Jetball, especially in New Zealand. He gets the odd star, and the New Zealanders wouldn't be overly surprised by that. But
it's 3 months today since the running of the Caulfield Cup, and Scott Seamer won that race, of course. And he has now won 7 Group 1 races in that 3 months. It's got to be the fastest tally at that level ever in Australia, hasn't it?
And toss in the Magic Millions just for the cream on the cake.
Yeah, make it Australasia, because a couple of those, 3 of those were in New Zealand, weren't they?
Amazing. And
around on the car line, we're about to have a look at that race right now. It was race 5 at Moonee Valley last night, and your caller is Greg Miles.
All clear racing. Beautiful dispatch with Intelligent Star jumping well on the inside. Sir Chuckle goes to him in the early part. Mr. Murphy jumped nicely, settling third, followed by Royal Code, Lazakaleta, and Ustinov couldn't go the pace, and he's 5 lengths away. Sir Chuckle led at the turn at the 800. He hasn't crossed. Intelligent Star with the rails second. Mr. Murphy the outside. Royal Code is fourth on the outside of La Zagaletta and 5 to Eustinoff. Sir Chuckle led up the side. Intelligent Star coasted along second. Mr. Murphy third. La Zagaletta the rail. Royal Code's got back to second last now and 5 to Eustinoff. Sir Chuckle is a good clip up the side, a length and a half in front. The favourite Intelligent Star travelled well second. La Zagaletta's got up on the inside of Mr. Murphy, and then Royal Code and Eustinoff. Sir Chuckle around the turn. He's about a half to 3/4 in front of Intelligent Star, who's travelling well second, and La Zagaletta waits on a run on the inside, and then Mr. Murphy, Royal Code and Eustinoff is coming. The favourite strikes the lead around the home turn though, and went for home. Intelligent Star over Sir Chuckle. Here's Eustinoff to the outside with a powerful finish. Intelligent Star the leader. Eustinoff getting up to second on the outside and chasing hard, and Royal Code is lifting late. Intelligent Star's under the whip. He's just in front. Royal Code lunges. Or maybe Intelligent Star. Royal Code's got very close to him the outside. Eustinoff third, then came La Zagaletta, Sir Chuckle.
You don't often see them do that at Moonee Valley, and Royal Code giving that leader about 4 lengths at the 100 and has run him down, and Eustinoff a very encouraging third. Wayne, I was about to say the run of Eustinoff first up from a staying point of view was terrific, but when you line it up against Royal Code, you've got to stick with Royal Code.
Yeah, he did make a long run, Eustinoff. He was some 5 lengths behind the second last horse, so he had to sustain quite a long run to get up to where he was. And then, of course, he just looked as though he petered out the last little bit. But Royal Code, I heard an interview this morning with David Hall where he said he's a funny horse, that he did the same thing in the Guineas before a spell, that they ran past him. And then he went, oh, hang on, what's happening here? Yeah. And he's picked up the bit and gone after them. And it was the same thing last night when Eustinoff went around him. And then he thought, well, I better do something here, and he's picked himself up again and got up to score. So he might be a nice horse, Royal Code. Yeah, I saw him when Valley once again, race number 7, and this was the race that caused the controversy. You make up your own mind over the 3,000 metres, and I stress 3,000 metres.
Ridden with some aggression in the early part, bounded out by a length and a half to Mr. Sam Booker. They're followed then by Star Games, second last, and William is last of all. Mystic Outlaw going great guns coming around the turn the first time. Joe, he hasn't mistaken the laps here. He's pulled the whip and he's about 6 or 7 lengths in front on Mystic Outlaw as he swings around the home turn with a big lead. He's in front of Mr. Sam Booker and Star Games. He's got this leader under the whip. I think he thinks it's a 1,200 metre race. Goodness me. He's coming down to the post and he's about 10 lengths in front and he's eased it up on the line. Keep going, son. Keep going. He's in front of Mr. Sam Booker as they leave the straight, and Star Games on the outside in third. In fourth placing, then out towards the 1,600 metre mark, is City of Gold, and they're being followed then over behind these horses by Legal Bound, who's on the inside of Rosso Corsa. He has pulled this leader up. He really does think it's a 1,200 metre race, and he's pulled the leader right up to a walk. He'll get a shock when they want to keep going with him. Back towards the tail of the field, passing the 1,500 metre mark.
Well, he eventually found the box seat, Wayne, but look, I felt a bit sorry for the kid.
Yeah, it was tragic, wasn't it? It really was. The horse finished up, tailed off last, and he came back and was given plenty of Bronx cheers down the home straight by the crowd, and fortunately the connections apparently shepherded him away from the media straight after that. Yeah. He did receive quite a lengthy suspension, which I understand he's appealed, so we'll wait the outcome of that, but yeah. It only happens very rarely. I've seen it a couple of times.
As Palatial, one of the interesting first starters, a sister to Danelaw, who won a Blue Diamond. Had a couple of trials in Sydney. And Jamra, the other one, who's a sister to Dash for Cash. They've each been easy on course.
Before its last start, 8th placing. We can go trackside to the team. Andre Neal and Mike O'Sullivan are the presenters there, and the caller is Tony Lee.
So good luck to them again, because Irish Rover really is, I believe, laughing.
Line's good, gates are back, racing in the Holden Thorndon Mile. Getting back here was Lord of Warriors in the early part, has got back to a clear last. Voltaire goes back, as too does Emerald Dream. Tit for Tat has begun the best, it's the leader. Icy Red's going forward, and then So Casual just behind them. Voltaire inside of Irish Rover. Burton was in company with those, a little more than a length sent home. Whipped through inside of Giovanna at the 1,200 metres, Hale 2 lengths away. Inside, Icy Red the outside, and then Burton going forward. Favourite sent home inside of Irish Rover, travelling handy. A length and a half, so casual. Giovanna the inside with a little more than a length. Travelling Man, no luck. Around Hale and Hello Dolly. Regency, Ferocity behind these. Emerald Dream, Voltaire, and Lord of Warriors was last as they're on the swing, and the Holden, Thornton Mile. Tit for tat in front. Voltaire on the outside and looking to get through. Sent home. He's starting to bullock into the clear. Wider out we've got So Casual, Travelling Man, and Giovanna with a real sprint. Giovanna goes to Sandhome, who finds again on the inside. Giovanna and Sandhome have come away from Travelling Man. Giovanna and Sandhome, a titanic struggle, but the Wonder Mare, Giovanna, Group 1 again. She's won the Fondant, Sandhome second, and third at the line. Hale, huge in the finish. Back behind these then Emerald Dream, Tit for Tat. Hello Dolly, Warriors. The old adversaries went head-to-head from the 300.
What a thrilling race, and what a great call, Tony Lee. Peter Johnson, Giovanna.
In the paddock about 12 months ago, but I've only had the 3, and, you know.
And the first of the previews for the Blue Diamond to be run on the 23rd of next month. Storm and Gun, the first, locked away. Bel Esprit opened up ridiculously short, really. It's a Diamond preview for the Colts and Geldings. They're set, racing. Bel Esprit jumped okay on the outside. Wonder Worker was one of the first to show out, and Resort to Rory got away well, and so did Tom Carews going forward, followed by Storm and Gun. At the 800, Bel Esprit from the outside barrier came across the field and led comfortably. He's out by a length and a half. Wonder Worker, Storm and Gun on the inside as Trelaw slows the tempo on the leader now. Tom Carews fourth, and they're followed by Sailor Reeve, and then came Resort to Rory, and settling well back as Westbound and Restorers last of all. Bel Esprit led by a half length. Wonder Worker, a length and a half. Tom Carews outside Storm and Gun. Sailor Reeve fifth on the inside from Resort to Rory, who's under the whip as they corner. Bel Esprit came round the turn beautifully. He straightened up by a length and a half to Wonder Worker. Tom Carews pulled to the outside to try and make some ground, but the leaders kicked away on them. Then Resort to Rory making ground, but with 100 metres left to go, and it's all Bel Esprit. He's 6 lengths in front of Tom Carews, Wonder Worker. Resort to Rory runs on with Sailor Reeve, but Bel Esprit has won it by 4 lengths eased up. Sailor Reeve will get up and grab second, just ahead of Tom Carews. Close up Wonder Worker and Resort to Rory, and then there's a break to Storm and Gun, followed by Resort, and Westbound was last in. He did just what we expected to see from him. Jumped, ran, he steadied, he showed a little quality there in that he was able to come back up. We've got some good 2-year-olds down here, the likes of Delago Rom and Innovation Girl, but this bloke probably just stands a little ahead of them at this stage. We're going to have some great 2-year-old racing. There's no...
Hey Wayne, time and time again in races like the Blue Diamond and the Golden Slipper, you see horses fire out of wide barriers and then they want to bolt. Doesn't matter where this bloke draws, he'll just come straight back to Smokey.
He can do it all, can't he? He's got that gate speed, he's able to get up, put himself into a spot, and he just switches off. He's some horse.
A big statement made by Wayne in the papers this morning. Wayne once rode Kingston Town, and he was comparing the gears that Kingston Town had with those of Bel Esprit. It's a big call, Keith.
Oh, absolutely, Joe. Gears only, I think that's about the comparison that should be peaked at this stage, but he's a very good 2-year-old. He's a deserving favourite for the Blue Diamond and probably the Golden Slipper. Look at him extend here under his own steam. He dashed over the 1,000 metres in 58.84. At that stage the track was dead rated because we'd had rain overnight. He ran his last 600 metres in 34 without being asked to do anything. And we're looking here at a colt that reportedly cost $9,000 only, but I'm told that that price has been grossly overstated. In fact, I think he was only $8,750.
Yeah, he's a son of Royal Academy, Keith, and the reason he probably only brought that price is he's got a few front leg problems. He's not perfect in the front legs. I think you can see that from his galloping action. If you look at it, he's got a bit of a splayed galloping action. He's very impressive. He's the most impressive one in Melbourne, I think, and I love the way he went to the line yesterday. Really good-looking horse above his legs, and you know, he's
overdrive in the straight. He's got a great turn of foot. We'll see if the fillies can measure up at least time-wise by comparison here. So very evenly grading. And Bardigo jumped very well. Brief Embrace a little slow to move, but is starting to muster pace. Rose of Spartacus began very fast with Coup on the outside, and going past the 800, Rose of Spartacus the leader. Romantic Fly getting up to second in company with Bardigo along the inside. Rose of Spartacus led Bardigo by 2 lengths at the 400 coming around the turn, then Romantic Flyer. Brief Embrace called on to make ground, and then Nulotra and Coos dropped out as they enter the straight now. And Rose of Spartacus in front. Bardigo's after it with Romantic Flyer. Brief Embrace is coming with a run down the outside, and Coos getting another wriggle on. 150 metres to go, and Bardigo in front of Romantic Flyer, and Brief Embrace on the outside. Bardigo under the whip in front, holds Brief Embrace in the run home, and Bardigo beat Brief Embrace by 3/4. Romantic Flyer might grab third just in front of Coup. Photo finish there, well clear of Scent of Romance, who's made ground, and then Palatial Royal Enclosure made some ground too from last. Then Nulotra, and they're followed in by Rose of Spartacus, who weakened. Sea of Fate. But Bellisbury did have something in hand as he coasted. 1, 2, 3, 4th.
Start time Barcata, top rates ahead of Pure Theatre and Dash for Cash, and then Tarcoola Midnight. 2 from 1 and 4, then number 7. The market looks this way as we link up Randwick with the late mail.
All right, we've got, well...
Trace Pure Theatre, Barcata $4.20. $11 Tarcoola Midnight. Golden Fawns come in for a...
Barcata the inside, they're off now, and Barcata jumped fast on the inside and is going to about a half-length lead in the early stages over Zonkt and Dash for Cash. Tuscanos improving out wider to 4th. Pure Theatre getting a good trail in the early part, 5th on the inside from Stacks on the Mill, closely followed by Trenches. About 2 lengths away then Fantastic, who's racing over on the outside of Tar. The Mill, 1.5 lengths Tarcoola Midnight. Trenches now back to third last, and then Golden Fawn and Fantastic. Zonk the leader at the 600. Tuscanos a length away second. Barcata third. Dash for Cash the perfect trail 4th. Pure Theatre on the inside in 5th placing from Stacks on the Mill. 2 to Tarcoola Midnight. Trenches, Golden Fawn and Fantastic. They're inside the 400 coming around the turn, and Zonk led. Eddie kicked away 1.5 lengths in front in the early part of the straight. Zonk from Tuscanos. Barcata. Part of the straight. Zonk from Tuscanos. Barcata. Dash for Cash pulled to the outside, and Pure Theatre switching course to the inside. Passing the 200, it's Zonked in front of Barcata. Dash for Cash lengthening, and Pure Theatre trying to get through, but chopped out of a run. And Dash for Cash hit the front with Barcata. Dash for Cash, Barcata, they hit the line of bob and go. Dash for Cash, maybe a nose. Barcata, a close one. Zonked held third. Just behind them was Pure Theatre, who got held up badly for a run late in the race. Then Tarcoola Midnight, Tuscanos, Golden Fawn making up a little ground from the tail. Then Fantastic and Stacks on the Mill, and Trenches dropped out to the tail.
Scholar. Little Nico in the stalls now. Big racing in Tasmania.
Jockey knows there's a chance he'll come off his mount, especially in national hunt racing. But it's not often that every jockey in one race comes to grief. By the time champion jockey Tony McCoy was unseated at the 11th fence on board the 11 to 8 on favourite Family Business, you could tell the Feast of St Raymond's novices chase at Southall was going to be no ordinary race. As the field reached the back straight on the second circuit, 4 horses were left. That soon became 2 as Ole Kerr and Joe Luke parted company with their respective riders. What a Wonder was the next to unseat his jockey, and it became a guessing game to see who would last the distance. The second to last fence on the back straight proved the sticking point, as What a Wonder threw his jockey, and Red Radish then refused. A remounted Ole Kerr was next to try his luck, but again the fence loomed a little too large for horse and rider.
Has now been left in the lead once more and has fallen.
Tony McCoy had been listening to the trackside commentary during the whole of the race. He remounted Family Business and set off on another attempt to clear the fences. Finally, after 10.5 minutes, the champion jockey claimed the win and all the prize money. Pity one London punter, though, who staked £5,000 on McCoy, but left the betting shop in disgust when he saw McCoy fall. He might learn that patience can sometimes pay off handsomely.
Well, that jockey Tony McCoy's got a sense of humour. He thought it was very, very funny. And that was as good as...
saying there's an injured jockey on the other side, so he didn't have to jump that. But there was another story that came out about a punter who had backed the winner originally, I think at 11 to 8, and then when the horse had fallen, thought, oh, I'm out of business here. When the jockey remounted, he got on the internet and they were betting at that stage 1,000 to 1 about the horse winning the race. Yeah. So he had £5 on it, 1,000 to 1. and got the money. Apparently that's the story coming out of England at the moment. A great story.
The only laugh at Caulfield...
Lonro 93 and New Key 90. And tremendous interest in this race. The Royal Sovereign. Lonro $1.20, Viking Ruler 18, Scratch Red Hannigan, New Key 13, Shags 6.10, Perfect Crime.
John, this is the Royal Sovereign Stakes, one of the highlights in the return of Lonro, who's $1.40 and $1. The second pick. Racing this time, they jump reasonably well. Shags was first out. Commencing pretty well was New Key. He's rushing up on the inside to try and get the lead from Shags. Lonro is nice and handy third from the Canberra gelding into the night, and away Viking Ruler. The five of them race within about 5 lengths of one another down towards the 600 marker. Little between Shags on the outside and New Key, with Lonro poised right behind them third. Into the night on his inside and 2 lengths to Viking Ruler. This has been the order for the last 400 odd metres, and little between Shags the outside and New Key. Lonro third. Rod Quinn hasn't moved on him yet, followed by Into the Night and Viking Ruler, hard ridden by Pat Payne. They straighten up now. Rodney Quinn calling upon Lonro. Shags and New Key taken on by Lonro. He lengthens stride and he goes whoosh. Away he goes, Lonro. Viking Ruler getting home well. But this rising superstar Lonro is going to win the Royal Sovereign and win it easily. Welcome back, Lonro. He beat Viking Ruler, which was a great return too. Third, Shags from Into the Night and New Key. Well, he did it on his ear. Just how good is this horse? He could well be a superstar with capital S's. And what a return, Viking Ruler. Aren't we going to be in for a magnificent autumn? The winner's paid $1.50 on tablet. Had 11 starts, 8 wins. He's had a second and a third. His first run since the Caulfield Guineas, and he made it look easy. By Octagonal from Sade, a 3-year-old brown colt, and I can imagine the excitement that his owners, Jack and Bobbingham, are getting. We'll never forget the thrills that the great Octagonal gave his owners and trainer too, John Hawkes. And I wonder whether this bloke is going to be a similar situation, a carbon copy. Anyway, let's not get too wrapped up too soon.
But very unfortunate he's going to keep running into Lonro. Maybe as he gets over a little bit further, he might be a little bit more competitive, but he's just a superstar, Lonro.
Wayne calls him a superstar. Do you agree?
Oh, I do, Tappy. He's just a wonderful racehorse. He's got the same attitude as his dad, Octagonal. Nothing seems to faze him. And a big rap for Johnny Hawkes to produce.
Getting his act together, Viking Ruler.
Yeah, I'm not prepared to call Lonro a superstar yet. I'm not saying he can't be one, but he hasn't done enough yet. He's on the way. But, I think a horse like Tie the Knot's a superstar because he's been there and done it at every level. Well, Lonro's yet to do that. The only thing that...
And will run a bold race. Ridden by her regular jockey, Robert Thompson. Terrific interest in this. And the other big question mark, is Caser going to measure up to this class? He's done all asked of him so far, 9 wins from 11 starts, but they've certainly thrown him in the deep end here. Let's see how he measures up as we take you to Ian Craig for the Expressway Stakes.
John Tapp joins us now with our home audience. I was just commenting the favourite racing this time at 8-8's got the best of the start from the outside. Silver Castle jumped well, and so did Viscount. He's showing an amazing turn of foot in the early stages and could in fact lead. And as they travel down to the 1,000 marker, 8-8's just leading Viscount. A length away third, Silver 700, and Viscount is shading 8-8's a length and a half, Silver Castle. Case a fourth defence, and then Nanny Maroon, followed by Knickerbocker Kid. Next to last is El Marada, and Tie the Knot is not far away last. Down by the 500, and Viscount at 8-8's have put 3 lengths on their nearest rival, Caser. Then Silver Castle, Nanny Maroon, hard ridden by Art Thompson, then El Marada, Knickerbocker Kid, and Tie the Knot is last to the outside around the corner. 8-8's takes the lead, about a half length on Viscount, and 2 lengths to Caser, and 3 Tie the Knot. It is 8-8's, 150 to go, a half, 3/4 Viscount, who can't match the mare at the moment, and then Caser, Tie the Knot, and El Marada. 8-8's is getting very tired, but she's got a winning lead, and 8-8's takes out the Expressway. 8-8's has beaten Viscount. Third between Caser and Tie the Knot, followed by Knickerbocker Kid, El Marada, Nanny Maroon, and Absolute Silver Castle. $304 neat. 1:11.23 is the overall time.
Firstly?
Yeah, it was a good effort. I'll be interested to ask Tony's view in a minute about the times they were running there yesterday. They seemed to be going fairly slow in the early part of the races and then sort of sprinting home. 8/8 did have the run under her belt, and she does pretty adept on sort of soft tracks too.
Yeah.
Good ride, as Jimmy pointed out to us there on his own behalf.
Yeah.
Get the horse home. Viscount ran a nice race. She went up and pestered him all the way. He was vulnerable there first up, I guess, yesterday.
Yep.
Caser, very good run. Country horse down, thrown in the deep end yesterday. I know Keith Swan's got a very high opinion of this horse, says it's probably the best horse he's ever had, and he's had a lot of good horses over the years.
Yeah.
Try the Knot, beautiful run, getting home there, what we expected from him.
Yeah.
Nanny Maroon, I thought she'd run a little bit better yesterday, but she was sort of stuck out on a limb there for most of the way yesterday. First up,
Got her up ready in time to you know, give it to these older horses that are not quite fit. So that's a good piece of training. That. But give me old Tie the Knot, will you? He gave her 6 lengths at the top of the straight, ran her down to 2, and, you know, he's just an old freak. 7 years old, and he's come back, looks as good as ever.
How's the track by...
Fleecing. Funny set of names. Ha Ha, 280. Hosanna, 13. Fair Embrace, 9:30. Fair Embrace, 7:30. Greg Childs has come to Sydney to ride this one for the Rogerson stable. Go down to Shook, number 8, a $10, and the others are all at fairly lengthy quotes. Now, in mentioning the fact that, and he could have had 4, but
further updated to dead, it will improve Ha-Ha's prospects, I'd say, for the light fingers. 250 and 150. 8/8 won the Expressway. Racing on the light fingers, Keys was slow to go, and the same could be said for Moon, Flute and Hosanna. Fleecing didn't jump well, and one of the roughies, Ancient Song, flew out and leads a couple of lengths settling down. Shook is moving to second, Fair Embrace is going up rather quickly, and Ha-Ha is nice and handy. A length and a half in a packing field. Down to the 650 they travel, and Ancient Song leads from Fair Embrace, moving up into second posse. Travelling third as they race down past the 500, Shook, a length and a half to Ha-Ha. Patton's Faith Hill and Fleecing over on the inside, and then the Big Chill via the Cape, followed by Shove Off. A length to Keys and Hosanna, and Moon Flute is last around the corner, and Ancient Song from Fair Embrace. Shook is running third. Let's look for Ha-Ha at the moment. Ha-Ha is tending to struggle, is she? What? She's tailed off. The leader is Ancient Song giving a side. Here's Hosanna rattling home. It's Ancient Song from Maruya holding them all at bay, and Ancient Song wins the light fingers from Hosanna and Shook. Followed home by Shove Off, Fair Embrace, and the Big Chill, Fleecing, Patton's Faith Hill, Keys. And then Moon Flute, and I can't believe it, a conspicuous last was Ha-Ha. Special dividend on the daily double with Bulkhead and King went out of the next, $28. Well, she simply...
Lotto Bolgen has never...
A very good filly too. And what happened to Ha-Ha, Tone?
Beats me. It's the best question in all show, I'd say. Who knows what happened to Ha-Ha? She was just in reverse around the home turn. It was just totally mystifying, wasn't it?
We're going to try and find out later in the show.
Ha-Ha. She... there's definitely something wrong with Ha-Ha. I mean, you don't run tailed off with her record like that.
No.
She did go around that very hot day at the Gold Coast, didn't
That
she?
may have been precursor of something, but I'll bet they find something wrong with her.
Towards what could possibly be a big Group 1 campaign. Moondragon, Betula, Elegant Fashion. They share top billing in the ratings from Bridal Hill, and if you want to know...
The Group 3 Brighton Mazda Vanity for the fillies, and a very interesting race here, a new favourite. Elegant Fashion is the new favourite on course. She's been screaming out to get over a bit of ground, and 1,400 metres here with a fitness edge on a lot of arrivals and a weight advantage. I guess the punters have really opted for that. Moondragon showed her quality in the spring with some outstanding performances. She certainly retains a lot of residual fitness here. She looked quite well. Rocking around a little. They're off now. Cappuccino touch slow. Sacagawea missed the start. And Woodweiner, one of the first out. Gradual jump brilliantly today. She's trying to find the lead. Gradual, Woodweiner, Cappuccino pushing up on the inside. And Gold Lottie settled down fourth. They're followed by Miss Lala. And Elegant Fashion is handy today. She's about 6th or 7th. To length it back over on the inside of Tally Thunder and Born Priceless. Up the side now at the 800-metre mark. And the leader is Gradual on the inside. Miss Lala's gone up to join her. 2 lengths away, Woodweiner.
On the inside, Capuchin. Bridal Hill's been caught wide all the way. 2 Miss Precisely. Gold Lottie on the rail. Then Jazz Queen, 1 Elegant Fashion. Sacagawea on the inside. And then Tally Thunder and Born Priceless and Moon Dragon last as they cornered. At the 500 in the vanity now. Gradual led by almost a length to Miss Lala Woodweener. Capuchin over on the inside. And then Gold Lottie trying to get into the clear. Jazz Queen coming with a run. And Bridal Hill is still there. Moon Dragon trying to work clear. She's blocked away. And so is Elegant Fashion. It's Gradual clear at the 200 from Woodweener, Capuchin, Gold Lottie. Moon Dragon sees daylight, Born Priceless. It's Gradual still clear at the 100-metre mark. Gold Lottie's descending fast. Gold Lottie's grabbed her, and Gold Lottie wins it, drawing away from Gradual. Born Priceless got up for third from Elegant Fashion, Woodweener and Capuchin, and then Moon Dragon, Bridal Hill. They were followed in then by Jazz Queen, Tally Thunder. And back behind them to finish in the race, Miss Lala Sacagawea, and back last of all is Miss Precisely.
She was placed in last year's English Premier.
It was classic, the full sister that I know, and she was there. But anyway, that's racing.
You can't win them all, but it's Gold Lottie winning the. Oh, geez, I'm going right here, Brendan. Winning the vanity. Sorry.
Of him, Mystique, second elect on course. Massive overs on the tote. The ratings going North Boy from Mystagic, Intelligent Star and Oamaru Force. 11, 12, 5 and 6. And 1 and 3 were the next best in the ratings. Sports won this race last year. Black Bean's a very good fresh horse. Century Kid has been racing well, as Patrick Payne told us. Point Danger's a good fresh horse as well. Intelligent Star, as Stephen Bassett just said, brings good form into the race. We'll hear soon from Joe Bowditch, who rides Corps Commander. Sports Brat, Bernadette Cooper's hopes in her first Flemington day of race riding. Miss Penny Money hasn't been sighted for 12 months.
12, 3 and 6 for the Group 1 Lightning Stakes, Brendan.
Alf, before you go, Spinning Hill has halved its earlier quote, not quite into single figures on course, so it's big value on the tote. Your thoughts?
Brendan, look, she's top class. There's no doubt about that at all. However, the 1,000 metres, I think the pressure of this race may be a little behind her. Bear in mind, when she does...
Righto, the big Group 1 sprint coming up, and a terrific race, a terrific betting race. There's been some good moves, particularly at the longer odds too. Great move for Spinning Hill at long odds. It's been a ripper go on track. And Century Kid has just come in for some nice solid support too, having his first run since that outstanding effort. And now settles it off. Racing in the Lightning, and North Boy got out fast with Spinning Hill and Miss Penny Money. Mystagic away like a shot heading to the outside, and Century Kid and Intelligent Star with Sir Chuckle are coming this way, so it's a speedy race to the grandstand side. Over on the flat now, passing the 800 metres, and it's Sports out wide up there with Oamaru Force, who's going to the lead ahead of Tully Dane, and just behind them Corps Commander, Point Danger and Sports Brat on the rail. Then Chong Chong and Black Bean as last of the division down on the flat side rail. They're right up with the pace here, heading towards the 400, and it's Mystagic away from the rail, leading Sir Chuckle, Century Kid and Intelligent Star. North Boys got back behind them on the outside rail, pushed along at this point. Spinning Hill with a run, and then Miss Penny Money. On the flat side, Oamaru Force from Tally Dane Sports. Chong Tong's coming at them, and Black Bean with a big run. Chong Tong hit the front down on the inside. Spinning Hill's hit the front on the grandstand. Chong Tong, Spinning Hill, Black Bean, Mystagic coming to the line wide apart. I think Spinning Hill on this side might get it. Spinning Hill this side with Mystagic, and over on the flat side is Chong Tong. In a great finish to the Lightning. Black Bean made tremendous ground late, followed in by Sports and Point Danger and Tally Dane over on the inside. Over on the other side was Century Kid right up there from Miss Penny Money, who ran a forward race. Back behind them then were Tally Dane, North Boy, who got lost mid-race, followed by Sports Brat, Corps Commander, Intelligent Star, Oamaru Force and Sir Chuckle.
Stephen Arnold wins yet another Group 1 this racing season. Guy Walter for Sandy Tate, Jill Niverson and family.
Yeah, Alf, she's a great man. She goes so well fresh. A little concerned. First time she's raced up the straight, but she just proved what a great mare she was, and I thought he rode her magnificently. That's the way to ride her. She's got to be held up, and it's a great result.
She normally shows terrific speed over the 1200s.
Well, she does. She's raced handy at times, but she's better ridden off the pace.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, my word.
Well, congratulations. Another great comeback to Melbourne.
Thanks very much.
Impressive result. So it's Guy Walter, the Sydney side, is collecting the first Group 1 of the racing year. Spinning Hill, the Dolphin Street mare, who's having its first run since the Epsom last year. That was a 7-furlong Epsom. It's 10, 12, 13. Fourth place went to the top weight. Blackbean running a good race. And how about Miss Penny Money?
Situations yesterday at Rosehill Gardens. Now, you don't see this too often, do you? A horse backed in for, I think, 20s into around 10s at Group 1 level and be successful.
It is a rarity, Shadow, indeed. I think bookmakers made a wrong price assessment when they opened their boards to match the opening tote odds. Spinning Hill is a very good mare. She's won 9 out of 24 starts. She's now topped $1 million in stakes. Bookmaker Bill Graham, first bet was claimed for $100,000 to $5,000. One punter, unknown to bookmakers, created most of the havoc along the rails. He apparently spotted Spinning Hill trial at Ballarat on Thursday, and he even took as little as, well, not as little, he kept backing her into 12 to 1. There's Spinning Hill down the outside. The eye-catching run was from the now favourite, nominal favourite for the Newmarket, Cheong Tong on the inside, Chong Tong. That's it on the inside rail, but outside Spinning Hill gives Stephen Arnold his 5th success at Group 1 level.
OK, we'll talk about the Beaten Brigade in just a moment, but I think he was eliminated.
In other countries, horses don't do what they do at Flemington. They usually, will generally race up the middle of the track or to one side. But constantly at Flemington, there are bunches of horses that split and go either way. Do you think that's really worthwhile?
I think it's a fault with the racing. I've never liked it. They always go to one rail or the other because they figured out it is just genuinely faster to do that than go up the Crown. And you know, I just think it's the powers that be may think that's spectacular racing, but the punters don't like it when half the field just gets eliminated. I mean, why not direct them to one rail or the other and give every horse a chance? I mean, I just think it drags something away from the racing, which is a fabulous race.
It's like 2 races.
Exactly. And one can't beat the other. So why have it?
Anyway. All right, of the other beat, just on the Group 3, Debonair. $150,000 up for grabs. It's Royal Code who's the on-track favourite. It's the top rater, and it rates 5 from 2, 3 and 6. The market looks this way. Royal Code is the on-course favourite. You get
goes forward. Look, good horse, but they cannot afford to do anything wrong in a race like this.
OK, all of those points have been noted. The Group 3 Debonair, $150,000. Some great horses have won this race. When you look through the history books, you can go through the likes of Mahogany, Moorwatt, Encounter, Crawl, who went on to win a Stradbroke. Last year, it was Costas off. Let's go trackside up to the broadcasting tower.
In a year when racing, and Grey Song was a little slow, and Eustonov got back there with Pentastic. All Carriage is the first to bounce out ahead of Perfect Crime, retaining the inside. Price of War and Constructor are up there, dicing for the lead too, and Dash for Cash, the grey, settled down 2 lengths away 5th, and then Golden Fawn handier. 1 to Tuscanos, All Carriage by a length to Constructor in 2nd placing. 2.5 to Price of War, followed then by, just behind these horses, Perfect Crime, Dash for Cash. Golden Fawn out wider, 2 to Tuscanos, and then Eustonov on the inside. They're followed then by, taken to the outside, Pure Theatre. Royal Code a long way back, cornering, being followed by Pentastic. National Chasers pulled to the outside. Gordo's second last with Grey Song and Foxborough. Well on the straight, and All Carriage by 3 lengths. Constructor, Perfect Crime, Tuscanos with a run the inside. Dash for Cash and Price of War, and Royal Code's got up behind them. All Carriage clear at the 200 metre mark, though. He's 3 lengths in front of Price of War. Dash for Cash coming down the outside. Then came Royal Code. All Carriage at the 100. Dash for Cash is after him. The grey Dash for Cash getting up on the outside. Grab the lead. Dash for Cash wins the Debonair from All Carriage. Royal Code ran 3rd. Perfect Crime 4th. Then came Price of War, and Grey Song from Gordo did his best work late, and so did Foxborough out wide. From Tuscanos, Pentastic, and they were trailed then by Pure Theatre, who never came into the race. The weakening Constructor. Eustonov has finished a long way back with National Chase and Golden Fawn.
Rick Lacey prepared Dash for Cash, the son of Secret Saving. 5 and 9. 13 has run 5th. 2, 4, 5 and 9. So Perfect Crime finishes in.
He's going for him. Good barrier. A little bit of jar out of the ground. Possibility of a slowly run race. So I see they've run 22.6. It's not too slow into a headwind.
Well, they were flying along early.
Yes. No, he's gone to the line very well, and I suppose you'd have to give him a chance on that. But barriers make a big difference, and next week's another race.
They sit.
Royal Code got too far back, ran on strongly. He's a very good 3-year-old. Eustonov was left flat-footed. He's shaping more as a stayer. I was, as Bede Murray, as we're looking at these and as we're watching Dash for Cash, the grey gather them in, Is this crop of 3-year-olds as good or better than last year's? This was a strong field, wasn't it?
That was a very strong field, Keith, by the look of it. But gee, the winner won well, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Against, you know, as strong a field as that, and he was really impressive.
Right. He may, if he does go to Dubai, he will...
Hill Gardens, as we head towards this feature race of racing. Victory Vane ahead of Chuckle, Sun Kisses and Guineas, 6, 7, 9 and 10. Chuckle comes off that Magic Millions placing, great performance. The other interesting runner is Rod Quinn's the top weight, as we hear from Joe McKinnon.
Right, as John Tapp joins us for the Silver Slipper, just having a look over the results of yesterday. Anyway, they're off in the Silver Slipper, and Minority was last out. Chuckle jumped quickly, not as fast as Guinness and Victory Vane, and going up very, very speedily as Sun Kisses, and settling. It's Sun Korea. Down the side they go, and the speedy Sun Kisses steadied. Leads about 3/4 Victory Vane, a length away third Guinness, and a little wider out the favourite Chuckle. One to Planchet, and then Fatoon over on the inside. A break then to Air of Grace. One Live in Fear, Magic Marvo, followed by Spinning Con, and last is Minority. Some of these jockeys coming pretty wide as they straighten up, and at the 350 Sun Kisses taken on by Chuckle. Between them Victory Vane, Guinness near enough to the inside, and then the newcomer Fatoon from Air of Grace and Planchet. Brian York drives Chuckle to a narrow lead. Victory Vane, however, will not give in. The little filly from the south coast is doing by far the better. She's coming away, Victory Vane, and Victory Vane wins the Silver Slipper from Chuckle. Third goes to Air of Grace and Planchet. Fourth, Live in Fear was next, and then Fatoon, followed home by another 2 away. Spinning Con, Magic Marvo, Minority, Sun Kisses, and Absolute was Guinness.
Races for juveniles today in 2 different states. An outstanding horseman based in the south coast of New South Wales. Now, Victoria Park, a check of the...
Seriously considering now paying that $100,000 late nomination fee for the Golden Slipper?
Yes, Joe, I'd say we certainly will be seriously considering it. I still think she would have to go and probably win a race like the Riesling Slipper or the Sweet Embrace, one of those fillies races. And I think she's, you know, if she can win one of those races, I certainly think they should pay the late nomination.
The other 2-year-old...
You agree with the system that the Golden Slipper is subject to the nominations, you know, back in August, and having to nominate what are yearlings, basically, at that time. Do you think it's the correct system, or should they leave it till later so we don't run into these problems where half the chances, as it appears in the race now, aren't nominated and we'll have to pay a $100,000 late fee?
Yes, Richard, I think that the nominations for the Golden Slipper are far too early. A lot of horses aren't even broken in by the time you've got to nominate them, and I think by the first acceptance, a lot of them have never even been tried. They haven't trialled, and I think you just don't bother nominating because you know, it just runs into too much.
Yes, I was going to ask you...
Follow those 2 races. Fawadi and Pembleton equal top raters from Kesa, and Coincidence 2 and 6 from 9 and 14, as we hear from the rider of Coincidence, Dan Beasley.
An interesting chance, Coincidence, in the Frederick Clissold this afternoon. Very good record.
Yeah, he's got a great...
Has been to Fawadi, and Fawadi is $7.10 and $2.80. So they're the top 2 as far as late moves are concerned. Second pick on the tote is number 9, Kaiser, at $6.10 and $2.40. Will run the firm favourite for the Clissold, last year taken out by Ab Initio. Previous here was won by Treasure Time, beat Dammer Win. Starter goes up onto the ladder. Presses the button, and they're off in the Frederick Clissold. Immediately out the back, the man in company with Crawl, and Fawadi goes to the early lead, taken on and headed by Pembleton. The Queenslander Ombre de la Serra is going to Reza, followed by Juggling Time, the man. Dress Circle and Crawl, they speed down the side of the 650, and the leader is from the national capital, Pembleton, a length and a half now for Wadi. Ombre de la Serra third to Lord Essex, then Zettervane, followed by Kaiser. Coincidence, he's outside, and then Galliano. Let's Compromise, Dotteressa, Juggling Time. Crawl, the man, and Dress Circle is last. Pembleton a clear leader. Entering the straight, and Pembleton 2 lengths on Fawadi. Jimmy Cassidy shaking up Fawadi. A length of the favourite, Lord Essex, and then Ombre de la Serra, and Kaiser heads the others down to the 200. And Pembleton taken on by Lord Essex, who quickly hits the lead, and Lord Essex raced away. Dotteressa running a good event, but Lord Essex is well clear. He's a great first-up horse, a real first-up specialist. Crawl late, but Lord Essex has beaten Crawl, a Hawks Quinella, and then Dotteressa Galliano, Fawadi Kaiser, Let's Compromise, followed home by Juggling Time the Man. Further off in the field was Pembleton, who weakened, so did Coincidence, and then Dress Circle from Ombra della Sera, and last to complete the course was Zedavane.
Wagon continues on with Rod Quinn in the saddle, first and second across the line in the Frederick Clissold Dotteressa in third position.
Lord Essex has always been a very promising horse. He was plagued by injury earlier in his career, in fact not long after he won the Far Lap Stakes at Rose Hill back in 2000, but now he's shaping up as a prime contender for the Doncaster Handicap, for which weights will be issued on Monday, tomorrow. So much focus will be on what he receives, along with Lonro, the 3-year-old, who's shaping as one of the main hopes as well.
Crawl was a massive run. The Man was backed for a lot of money in the Doncaster during the week before his run there yesterday, but he didn't really fire yesterday, so they must have thought he was going well to back him in the Doncaster, but didn't come up yesterday.
May I make a suggestion to those who left their money in on Kaiser? The horse had absolutely no wet track form going into the race, and I know why now.
Look ahead because we're heading towards one of their Group 1 features. This is at 1.25 miles where Giovanna rates ahead of Hello Dolly, Emerald Dream and Green Street. 5, 6, 9 and 1. Emerald Dream a very close relation to Dane Win. Some beautifully bred runners here and in great form.
To come forward, Green Street goes up for David Walsh, Derzetta and Greg Charles to move forward. So we're set now, the Group 1 Whakanui Stud International Stakes, 2,000 metres. Starter is up and they're racing, and Derzetta jumped pretty well. Hello Dolly in towards the outside. Green Street is well away too, with Hale down on the inside. Giovanna, Danny Day, Emerald Dream is right up there for Scotty Seamer. As they settle, Beaujolais is now dropping out last. Hale up 10 to 12, first to last in Green Street at the 600 metres. Going nicely by 2, Hill of Grace. Then we've got Giovanna. Magic Winners down on the inside. There followed Emerald Dream. Derzetta over on the outside. Danny Day under a little pressure. Hale making a run from the back of the field. They swing the bend in the International Stakes in Green Street, the leader. Hill of Grace, Giovanna's coming after it now, the favourite. Emerald Dream and Hale's down the outskirts of the track, but Green Street just in front. Hill of Grace looking for racing room. Emerald Dream and Hale's down the outside. Derzetta's not far away. Green Street is digging deep. Emerald Dream and Scotty Seamer's got the lead though. Emerald Dream, Hale's flying, but Emerald Dream, Scotty Seamer too good. Hale second, Derzetta third. They were followed Green Street, then Magic Winner, Giovanna. On the outside, Beaujolais, Hello Dolly, Hill of Grace and Danny Day.
Scott Seamer does it again. Another Group 1 across the Tasman. This one there, the Whakanui Stud International Stakes, 2,000 metres. One of the hottest seasons history has ever recorded as a senior jockey. Not one that's emerged as an apprentice, but he just continues. I think that's his 7th Group 1 winner in the past 6 months. Emerald Dream from
Seamer, needless to say, Keith, aboard the winner.
Yeah, 4 winners yesterday for Scott Seamer in New Zealand. The juggernaut rolls on. And after we saw Shane Dye win, I think, 12 Group 1 races in a season. Scott Seamer, there's a tally now, I think it's 8 or 9. 8, right? This was from a guy who has always had talent, but was never in the top echelon. He's not only entrenched in the top echelon now, he was voted the jockey of the Melbourne Spring Carnival, and he has taken that riding brilliance to New Zealand, and in fact...
Form young. Sunline v Ethereal, the Group 1, not too far away on Sky. It'll come along in around 13 minutes. Sunline, 3 points clear of Vinaka, last start winner of the Telegraph. 5, 12, 4 and 9 the ratings. This race also sees the return of Ethereal. Scott Seamer has the sit. Ethereal's at 3.40, longer odds on Super Tab. Sunline $1.70, $1.80 Super Tab. Scott Seamer has the sit. The great mare who's carried the hearts and dollars of so many Australasian punters, a winner of more than $10.9 million, a winner of 27 race starts, and she's first up in what could be her swan song season, the Desert Sun mare. Placed in the Cox Plate behind Northerly, its most recent run.
Spring Rain jumped quickly. Sunline down on the inside began well and is going up towards the leaders. Now just been restrained by Childs. Sequel on the outside there, followed then by Vinaka. Butterscotch and Honour Bound. 3 up front, but Sunline's won the duel for the lead and is really tending to over-race at the stage. 800 metres to go. Sunline opened up a length and a half. On naval attempt, Spring Rain. Then we've got Vinaka. A length to Sequel, Butterscotch and Tit for Tat. Honour Bound, Classy's Magic, Viner's Lane, and 3 to 4 to Ethereal. Group 1, Waikato Draft Sprint, and it's the champion mare Sunline clear by 2 to Spring Rain. They're followed by Able Attempt third. Vinaka's fourth back on the inside. Then Sequel, Honour Bound from Butterscotch, and out wider one making a run at them as they swing in, and that was Viner's Lane, but Sunline goes for home. The champion mare's opened up and was given full throttle by Greg Childs. Opened up 2 or 3 on Spring Rain. Vinaka's coming after them, but O'Sullivan's got the stick on the 3-year-old. It's all Sunline, 150 out by 3, 4, 5 now from Spring Rain and Vinaka, but Sunline, the champion mare, has killed them in the Waikato Draft Sprint. Spring Rain second, third is Honour Bound. Vinaka wicked out to fourth, then Ethereal. On the inside, Tit for Tat, followed by Sequel, Viner's Lane, Classy's Magic, Butterscotch, and Able Attempt.
Oh, she's back, and she's back in huge form, Sunline, absolutely throttling her New Zealand Group 1 rivals. In the saddle, Greg Childs.
It's made for him. He's down a little bit more on the weights and soft tracks. He does excel on them, and he's fairly forward, so we'll hopefully he'll run well for us.
My amended list of equine freaks on Racing Retro this morning. It's been a pretty short list up to date. Carbine, Farlap, Burnborough, Tulloch, Kingston Town and Sunline.
And Sunline, yes.
Gee, that's an illustrious case.
I don't think anyone would argue that
deserves
point. Yeah, we'll talk more about that. What a
I can see where we go from here. If she keeps coming back like this, do you get surprised, or are you beyond being surprised by her?
No, you know, she was brilliant. She brilliant track work during the week, and, you know, come back as a 6-year-old. It's probably her last start in New Zealand, and, unbelievable.
Yeah, don't you just love scenes like that with the crowd going wild, John?
Yeah, it's the euphoria that good horses generate.
Yeah. Undefeated in New Zealand in 10 starts there, and undefeated at the 1400 metre trip.
Andrew Bensley this morning spoke with the connections of Sunline, and they said she pulled up well. Her next run will either be a Group 1 at Wellington in New Zealand in 12 days' time over 1400 metres, or the Coolmore Classic in Sydney. So she'll go one way or the other. She'll either be in Wellington or they'll see her in Sydney for her next start. Ethereal ran in the same race, and connections there were thrilled with the run. They say she ran her 1400 in 1:22.8, which is about as fast as Ethereal can do it. And she'll come to Melbourne on the 18th of February, that's Monday the 18th of February, and run in the St George Stakes on March the 2nd, and then onto the Australian Cup. So that's the plan for Ethereal at this stage. But Sunline, looks like we may see her in Sydney for her next start.
You know, in the Coolmore?
In the Coolmore Classic.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Should be hard to beat there. I think it's 1500 metres at Rose Hill, and
she won it before.
Yeah, big weight.
Yeah.
Yep. Should be hard to beat.
Here's the race here now. Look, I let her start the slide here, and from this point on, she just keeps quickening up. I knew there was a stronger race this time last year, so I rode her a bit harder, thinking that Vinaka would come out of the woodwork soon, and Ethereal would be coming home hard too, but because I couldn't see where they were, and I kept her going right to the line. But she just spaced them. Watching that replay, Jesus.
She certainly did absolutely blitz them. Probably weren't aware of it, but when Brendan and I were working at Flemington yesterday, you've got no idea the reception she actually received from on-course patrons.
I was told that when I got here today, that the reception, they gave her a rousing applause. I mean, and that's great because she's a horse that is a true champion in the sense. She's had 41 starts and only ever been she's only ever been once further back than 5th out of 41 starts. That speaks volumes.
It certainly is.
Yeah, but it's great to have the crowd.
Eases off the running of the first of our Group 3 features, the Amy Blue Diamond Prelude. Here's Greg.
Taylor Reeve drawn the inside. There's the favourite Bel Esprit, $1.30. Coming up, Tom Carews. He's ready. Ed. Drawn in gate number 4 when it comes along. Bel Esprit.
They're racing
and Bellisbury began reasonably on the outside. Resort got out fast next to him. Tom Carews jumped away nicely, and Prosperous Bit is just off them now as Bellisbury scoots to the lead. In behind the pace early, Step Ahead being followed by Zibbolino. Bellisbury had crossed and gone to the rails and led narrowly. He's in front of Sailor Reeve coming up into second, placing over on the outside. Rather, Tom Carews it is second, and right behind them Step Ahead third on the inside as they swing the corner. Next is Resort losing ground, and then a break in the field to Zibbolino, and then Sailor Reeve the inside and Prosperous Bid. But Bellisbury shot nicely clear with 2:50 to go. He's out by 3 lengths now to Step Ahead. Then Tom Carews, and back behind them then is Cool Trent making ground on the outside, but Bellisbury is about 4 or 5 lengths in front. Cool Trent running into second placing on the outside, but Bellisbury has kept going under hands and heels, and Bellisbury has eased up on the post to win by 2 lengths. Cool Trent second. Third goes to Step Ahead from Tom Carews, and they're followed by Hard Rider, who made ground from last, and then Sailor Reeve. Bellisbury home at $1.
Cool Trent and Step Ahead. 4:30 the Quinella, 5:30 the Exacta.
We'll compare winning times with the previous edition of the Blue Diamond Prelude for the Colts and Geldings. This one for the fillies as we head up to the broadcast tower.
With Fine Society. Away, and Palatial missed the start towards the middle of the line. Away very fast on the inside there is Sea of Faith, and getting out quickly too is Coup. They lead in the early part to Brief Embrace, settling third on the outside. About to pass the 600-metre mark. It's Coup on the inside, leading narrowly from Sea of Faith. About a half a length away, Brief Embrace in third placing, and they're followed then by Romantic Flyer, who's on the inside of Jamra, and back behind those Cirque du Soleil coming into it wide out. Then a gap, Palatial, Raspberry Ripple, the little filly being hard ridden as they cornered, and Fine Society. Coup led round the home turn, came away from the rail. Brief Embrace after her. Cirque du Soleil wider out. Romantic Flyer down on the inside. 200 metres to go. It's Coup and Brief Embrace in a Titanic struggle with 100 metres to go. Clear a Romantic Flyer, but on the outside, Brief Embrace has poked the head in front. She's a neck clear, and Brief Embrace by a half length to Coup. Romantic Flyer a half length away third. Close up Cirque du Soleil. A break to Jamra being followed by Raspberry Ripple, and she was trailed in by Palatial, Fine Society, and dropping out of last to finish is Sea of Faith. Brief Embrace.
2, 3, 4 and 8, and the same time as was recorded in the Colts and Geldings division, and she covered some ground. Brief Embrace. Coup and Romantic Flyer. Coup and Romantic Flyer. And as I mentioned,
Triple Group 1 winner Viscount has broken down and will never race again. Trainer John Hawkes confirmed today that the horse will be retired to stud after suffering ligament damage. The camp wouldn't elaborate on the injury, but confirmed he will stand at the Ingham's Woodlands stud. Viscount was a winner twice at Group 1 level as a 2-year-old and once as a 3-year-old. But his most memorable performance was his courageous placing behind Northerly in last year's Cox Plate. Viscount retired with a record of 17 starts.